Okay, well, welcome everybody to our first weekend of ArtVenture 2022. We are so excited to have Kacha Hernandez with us for our guide to furniture painting. So we're just going to go ahead and get with it. And Kacha, take it away.
Hey, hi there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to coming to the class. I'm very excited to share with you all my knowledge that I pick up through years. A lot of errors that I went through. I will try to actually tell you all about that so you don't have to go through hard time. Today, we're going to learn like basic techniques that will give you so much confidence that you can continue later on experiment. But once you learn this, this will give you the base knowledge so you can go from there. There's a million techniques to do furniture around, but this is the most important and this is the easiest one to do. So what I got today is a little table, and we're going to start straight, go into painting because we need paint to dry. So I'm going to first paint, and then we will talk later about all kinds of things. So what I have here, since I don't have 4 ounces of paint from the kit, I'm actually going to pour 4 ounces of paint in this container. So we're all on the same page. So you can see that I'm using 4 ounces as well. So let me just pour that in, and we will start. This paint is very thick and it has great coverage. Actually, this is less than 4. I'm gonna a little more. I picked this color because it's such a pretty navy color. Everybody loves this color. I sold so many pieces with this. It matches everything. And also it has the great coverage. Some colors like white can take up to 4 coats for solid coverage, or some red or light pink. But this one is actually has a really good coverage. So I got 4 ounces of paint here so you guys can see. And I got my Anislon brush. So first thing you want to do is shake your can of paint. That's the first thing you want to do. Just give it a little shake, because when you store your paint, like good stuff go on the bottom, and you actually want all that to mix up again. And then some of you maybe have Anislon brush. Whichever brush you have, that's fine. It will get the job done. This one I suggest because it's designed to go with this paint, but there's ways around it. You can just use any brush you really have. So it will be the best if we start from the top and then work our way down. One thing I want to tell you is that I said that we'll use a spray bottle. That is for later. Now we're just going to try and cover that surface with solid color. It's going to look ugly. Don't get scared. You're just trying to get some paint on there, and later on everything will come together. So there is an ugly stage, and don't be scared by that ugly stage, because that is the process. So shall I put a table down so they can see how I start?
I can move the camera. I can move the camera.
Okay, let's start with the top. I suggest everybody start with the top because that is going to take the longest time to dry. We're going to do the transfer on here later, so we want this one first to dry. So you're going to get a little bit of paint on your brush. Everybody asks me why I don't get paint on myself. It's because I don't dip my brush so much in the paint. That's when you get mess and you get all kinds of things that you don't really need. So get a little bit of paint, and when you get the stable so it's not shaky, you want to paint in every which direction. I'm teaching you the authentic Annie Sloan look for chalk painted furniture. She started this industry, she invented chalk paint, and this is her technique. So you just go in every which direction. So we go here and don't feel afraid. Just go in there, go in every which direction, move along. We're creating just that real look of chalk painted furniture.
Every which way.
Every which way, yes. That's what you want to do, regardless of which brush you're using. And now I'm going to go on this side. So you just go around to get that paint all over there. Okay, so one thing I want to tell you that a lot of people don't think of, when you're applying paint, first try to go on the corners like this, and then go over there to smooth that out on the top. That's my little trick that it doesn't seem important, but it's important. Because if you paint the top and then you want to go on the edges, you can have some overlap on top and it's kind of look messy. You don't have to do that. It's not going to make such a big difference, but it's just a little suggestion that you can do. So just go every which direction. Easy.
Rebecca asked if we clean and sand. That was done as prep before to save on time. She sent it in the prep video, how to clean and how to prep your piece.
Thank you, Carlos.
You're welcome.
Here we go. The top is covered. So just relax your hand. I promise you, it's super easy. This is just chalk paint. Don't be afraid of it. Just relax your hand and go all over it. The point of all this is to have fun, because this is so therapeutic. When you're by yourself and it's just you and your piece of furniture, this will give you so much joy and comfort, and you will just keep on going, painting everything around your house. So now we're done with the top. We're going to move on to the rest of the table. Okay. And if you see that there is some wood, you can see some wood here and there, don't worry, because this is our first coat. You can't cover everything with the first coat. You have to use 2 coats for that. And sometimes if you use a light color, you have to use like 3, maybe even 4. Okay. So we're going with the door. All right. When it comes to the drawers, in my videos, I always paint with the drawers in. And a lot of people get confused by that. Why I do it, how I do it. Well, it's simple. It's way easier to demonstrate your work when you have drawers in instead of out. It's way easier for video purposes. And I got used to that so much that I just love painting with the drawers in. So if you want, if you have a drawer, pull the drawer out, you can put it on the floor and you can paint it out of the table. I'm not going to do that since I'm used to painting this way. But again, if that feels weird for you, you can just remove the drawer, put it on the floor and paint it off the table, and we will put it later on in. If you even have the table, if you even have the drawer, some tables don't have any drawers. So let's paint this now. You will probably see here better. Here we go. Paint in every which direction. And always use just a little bit of paint on your brush. Remember, that is the secret, to no mess. You see that is going pretty fast. I love this color. It's so pretty. Okay. And we're just going to move on now to everything else. And you're just doing the same. You're just going back and forth. It's really harder to go back and forth when you have this kind of furniture, the splinters, I think this is called. But still, this paint is designed to be user-free, user-easy, just to enjoy and to do project kind of fast. You don't have to spend so many hours trying to fix your mistakes. So just going there. Under the table, always here, always paint that area. Don't forget that, it's important, especially if you're going to sell furniture, because sometimes if you forget this and then you look at your finished piece and you see this one is not finished, you're like, oops, that doesn't look really good. So always go under this area here. And this is how much paint I'm grabbing. This is all I'm grabbing. When child painting less is more. So there we go. And now I'm just going to go on the bottom part. Just relax your hand and just go back and forth. Okay.
What's your advice for getting tired for people that are new?
Getting tired?
Mm-hmm. Your hand?
Well, my hand really never gets tired. Well, take a break if you get tired. That's the best thing I can give advice. Just if you're tired, just take a break. Sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes it's just not my day and I try to paint and everything is going bad and I'm tired, I'm not feeling it. So, you know, just take a break and come back the next day. All right. We're just going to go around here, do the same thing. And I'm going to, once I'm done with this coat, I'm going to tell you some stuff about this technique and this chalk paint and a lot of stuff. What furniture to look for, what furniture is worth doing, what furniture is not worth doing. Because there's some cases that, you know, you find a piece of furniture and you think you got a great deal and you think it's worth it. Something is broken, you think it's going to fix, and you actually never end up fixing it and it just sits there. So I want to point you in directions where to, how to look for furniture and how to get started on this journey. Because I have to warn you, once you get started on this journey, it's so hard to walk away. Because everybody I know, once they started painting furniture, they all ended up just painting for them, for family, for friends, for business. These splinters are always the hardest to paint. But this table is so cute that I just couldn't resist to.
Spindles, they're called spindles.
Spindles, okay. I give weird names to things on English.
I do too, it's okay. And English is my first language, so don't worry about it.
Thank
I
you,
think
Jamie.
you're doing awesome.
Thank you. All right. One thing also you don't have to worry about chalk paint. If you get it on yourself, or if you get it somewhere where it doesn't belong, that it's not supposed to go, it's not furniture, you will wash it off. Chalk paint will wash off. If you get it on your clothes, you put in the washer immediately. You don't really want to wait 2 days to wash it, but if you put it in the washer immediately, it will come off. And if you get it on some, like on the floor, also it will get come out easily. So don't get scared if you get, because this paint is all natural. There is nothing synthetic in it, so it will come off. Also, Anislon chalk paint is DOC free, and it's very safe to use inside. It's safe to use around your pets. There is no smell. So I just love it for so many reasons that I will also tell you about today. Okay. So I'm still doing plenty with my paint because this paint is so thick and it has great coverage. So you guys should be good too. I'm going to paint this on this side. And my table is a little shaky because my floor is not leveled, but it's all right. Okay.
Michelle is asking if you recommend doing the undersides of pieces if they are unseen.
No, you don't need to do them. You can, that's totally up to you. Back and under, it's really not something you need to do. If it has some stain and if it looks really ugly or damaged, then yeah, you can give it a nice coat of paint, but it's not really necessary. I do that rarely. The only time I paint the back of furniture is when I do some desk or a vanity. That's the only time I will paint the back, but under, really rarely. Once, maybe in 100 times, I will do the under the piece. So you don't have to worry about that, but if you want, you can. Just, it's extra work and nobody's going to see it. And if you sell your furniture, customers are not looking for that. If your furniture is painted under. So it's all about how you feel. You're going to develop your own little techniques and tricks the more you do this. When I started, I had no idea what I was doing. All I know, I wanted to paint with chalk paint. So I will just get tables in the Goodwill, so many tables, and I will just paint every day. And then once I got bored with this basic technique, then I started experimenting with different techniques. And the more I experimented, the more I learned. You're going to make some mistakes on the way there, but don't worry, that is nothing to be worried about. If you paint the table and you don't like it, you can simply repaint it. It's easy as that. So it's really rare for me. Maybe once a year I get into the project that I totally hate and I have to walk away for some reason. That's really rare. So there's always way around. If you don't like it or something is not going right, you can always fix it. The most important thing is to have fun and to enjoy. Okay, I just have one more side to do. And the top is already drying, as you can see. That's why I suggested we start with the top. The top is already drying by the time I'm finishing this table. So there we go. just try avoiding thick paint. That will give you problems. You don't want that.
You mean too much on your brush?
Too much on your, and thick coats of paint. You don't need, if you put too much, let me show you. I will do now for you, but I don't need this. Look at this, it's dripping. I don't need this. This will give you ugly look because let's say you will put it here. Look at this. And you will try spreading it around and you will have all these strokes from brush and you don't need that. The key is to go with light coats. I'm going to fix that now, but I just wanted to show you. That will give you so much trouble and you will make mess around you and on you, and you don't need that. And you will spend extra paint. That why spend it extra if you can spend less? And you can use extra paint for another project.
So that tells me one error that I've done in the past, Kacha. I get paint all over me, so.
Yes.
Me too.
Right, Carlos?
I would be tired already.
A lot of people say that, and that is just because you dip your brush too deep into the paint. That's all. Look, I'm using this dip that I use on this area. I'm still spreading it all over this table. That's how much, this paint comes along. But if you just slap it in one area, it's going to look ugly and it's going to drip. You're gonna get paint drips around it. And it doesn't look professional. Even though if you get paint drips on your pieces, don't panic. You can simply use sandpaper and sand that off, and it will get smooth again. So there is solution for everything, as long as you don't panic like I did so many times. Everything can be fixed. And that's it. I'm coming to the end of this coat. Okay.
So to fix this here, you just grabbed it and spread it around.
Yes, I just spread it around. Like I grab it from here and then I spread it on the other area. Just grab it from there, spread it over here. So that's the first thing you need to learn and be aware of. How much paint you get on your brush. All right, this is looking good. And if you miss something, it's no big deal. We will go with the second coat and you will fix it. I'm just trying to get under here to look more professional. And I think that's it. Oh, I just need to do this leg. And I come to home. Also, one thing you can do later on, even though I prefer to paint this way with table up, you can flip your table upside down if there is some areas hard to reach this way. You can always flip it upside down, but make sure your top is dry before you flip it. Or you first flip it, you paint the legs, and then you flip it around and paint the top. That's an option as well. Here we go. Okay, this leg. We're just now seeing this little area. Perfect. Okay. We should let this now to dry. And we can have a chat before we move on. It was just very important to get this first coat on so we can keep on working. Perfect. I keep saying perfect, perfect, and then I find some area that doesn't have paint. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, that's it. You can see we have almost complete coverage, but it's not quite complete because this is just the first coat, but it will get there. And I got also on my fingers, but that's as far as I get paint on me. It's my hands. You can get around there when you're working with paint. All right, so let me tell you some things about chalk paint and all this journey. Annie Sloan invented chalk paint almost 30 years ago. She worked really hard to create this specific formula. There is a lot of brands now on the market, but this is one truly chalk paint that sticks to everything. It's a little pricier than other paint, but if you think about, you don't need a primer because it sticks to everything. Sticks to glass. I painted glass windows on some cabinets that I didn't like the way glass looked. So it saves you actually money because you don't need to prime. Yes, there will be cases where you have to prime, and that is rare. That is sometimes that you get a piece of furniture. It's usually a redwood. Redwood is usually the one that will sometimes give me problems. And then you will have to use a Zinsser primer with shellac. That one I suggest is because it blocks the pores so your piece can bleed through. What is a bleed through? Maybe you ask. Maybe I'm just talking and you don't even know. That is when you paint your piece of furniture and there is a stain start coming through the paint. If that happens in the middle of the project and you have some stains here and there, don't panic. You can fix that by simply spraying shellac. You spray shellac, you let shellac dries in minutes, spray it once or twice, and you carry on with your project. Bleed through usually happens with a redwood and bright colors. Usually doesn't happen with dark colors, the bleed through. So if you ever find yourself in the project, you're working and you see the stain coming through, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. Just spray some shellac. Sometimes you have to spray it twice and carry on with your project. But if you buy a piece of furniture and you're not sure, let's say you buy mahogany or cherry wood, sometimes I don't want to take my chances and I just use primer, Zinsser primer with shellac. I try a bunch of different primers, but this one shows to be the best. It will block that stain under. Sometimes also it takes up to 3 coats. One very important thing is to clean your pieces. When it comes to Annie Sloan, all you have to do, okay, let me show you the Zinsser primer with shellac. This is the primer that will completely stop the bleeding. So this you want to use before the project. If you buy a red piece and you're not sure if it's going to bleed through or not, use this primer. Sometimes you have to put up to 3 coats. Sometimes the 1 coat and you're good, but sometimes it's not.
How do you know?
How do you know? Because if you put the Zinsser primer with shellac and it's pink stuff coming out, that means that your piece is still bleeding through. So that's how you know. One thing, when people say no prep, paint has no prep. Such a paint doesn't exist. You need to know that. No prep doesn't exist. Prep is cleaning your piece. That's prep. And that is when you work on a 9-drawer piece, that's a heavy prep because sometimes you will have to change to water, 2 buckets of water, and there is all kind of things that will come out. So that is prep and it's heavy prep. When they say no prep, sometimes they think no sanding and priming, which is Annie Sloan case. No sanding, you have to sand your furniture because paint won't stick if you don't sand it. In Anisong case, it sticks to everything.
So
When do you
Kacha,
want it?
Yes.
Danielle has a question. How is chalk paint better than oil, acrylic, or latex? She says,
Oh.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay. So I really don't like, I try to stay away from any oil or latex paint based or based on latex or oil, because it doesn't give me the natural look. I love the natural look the chalk paint gives me. Once you put the protection on, which is clear wax, which we will do at the end, it will give you a nice look, nice matte finish look. I just really don't like, let's say, also if you paint a piece of furniture that has hinges, you cannot paint hinges with oil-based or latex-based paint, but you can with chalk paint because it's all natural. So, you know, it's about the look. Some people love the old way. I really try to stay away from anything that is oil-based, except the primer, which, you know, you have to use because it's the best. So that's, in my opinion, that is the difference. Again, some people prefer, you know, oil-based or latex-based, but I don't really like. Another thing that is great about this paint is that you can pour water in it. If it's too thick, if you feel it's too thick, you can pour water, so you can actually get more paint out of it. You can mix any colors. Anis Lawn doesn't have any black pigment in it. So that's why the colors are very nicely mixable. When I started with Anis Lawn, then I went on the path using all kind of brands, and I came to a realization that I am the best version of myself as an artist with this paint. I can simply express myself the best. Another thing that is different between chalk paint and latex paint is that chalk paint will give you a very nice blend if you want to blend, if you want to layer or dry brush. I'm not saying you can't do that with oil-based or latex-based, but it will be much harder, where this is just created to play and create artistic pieces if you want it. I gotta drink some water. So if there's more questions, let me know.
How is everybody doing? Is everybody doing good?
Everybody's doing good?
Yep.
right.
Susan's good. Jason and Nancy says doing great. It's drying, which is a good
Perfect.
thing.
Yes. So the drying time can be also different. You know, when I used to live in Colorado, my pieces will dry in 15 minutes, where in Maine, when I got here, my pieces will take way longer because humidity is high. The drier is your environment, the faster it's going to, the drier and warmer, let's say, the faster it's going to dry. The more humidity you have in the air, the slower it's going to dry. So, you know, that depends. When people ask me how fast it dries, I always say it depends on the environment you work in, but it should dry pretty fast, especially if you're using those thin coats. Because if you're using the thick coats, then yeah, you're going to have, you know, harder time drying. It's going to dry slower. So that's our top. It's already dry. If you ever get some hair in your paint, and that can happen a lot of times, especially if you have your pet around you, like I have mine always, just simply pick up that hair. It will come out easily. It won't be stuck in there. Pick it up. Yes.
We have a question from Jancy. And it's, you kind of briefly touched on it, but maybe you can explain further. She asked, should I have left hardware on and painted it? Because I'm assuming Jancy, she took
Hardware.
it off.
Oh,
Should she have left the hardware on?
Absolutely. You can do that. I've done that so many times. That's totally fine. You can do that too. I've done that so many times. It will dry nicely. it won't wear off, you know, yeah, you're totally fine.
And if you change your mind, you could just gild it or recolor it.
Actually, what I suggest, once we are later on in the project, I suggest you apply gilding wax on top of your hardware that is painted. So that's fine. Done that so many times. Sometimes the piece just looks better if you paint the hardware over. Sometimes I want to make that the part of my look. And I know I had questions where people are like, why are you painting over hardware? I'm like, because I want it to blend all nicely. So of course you can do that because it sticks to metal as well.
But you had stated in the prep video that you need to take the hardware off and clean the piece, and then you put the hardware back on if you want to paint over it.
Yes, exactly. You always want to clean the hardware. You really want to clean the hardware, of course, because it will, all kind of stuff will come out. But when you remove the hardware from your piece, that is like, let's say some pieces I get are 100 years old. You won't believe the things I find behind the hardware. So that's why even if I paint over my hardware, I clean it, I put it back on, and then I paint over it. And then I use gilding wax or whatever I want. So yes, you always want to clean your hardware and behind your hardware. Don't forget that part, because you can find all kind of stuff, like a lot of dust. So this one is drying nicely. We just have some around here to dry and around here. And you want to wait all that to dry. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. While we're drying.
How would you suggest to clean the hardware? What's the best to use the same
you can
cleaner?
just wash it off. You can, it depends what you want. If you want, there's a few ways to clean it. You can just simply wash it with water and dish soap. You can use the same cleaner that you're using to clean your pieces. I also suggested you have a bucket of water when you clean your pieces, so you can just drop the hardware in that bucket of water to like soak it in and just rinse it off after. There's few ways. In one of my videos not long ago, I found this real brass hardware and it was looking completely black. And I knew it was brass because I knew it was, the piece was like 170 years old. So I soaked it in baking soda and vinegar, and I made an explosion in my video. And after that, I left it there for overnight. And then after that, I scrubbed it with a cleaning paste, and it was all gold. So not like this one. This is a replica. This is not real brass. And I can try to scrub this as much as I want. It will never be gold because this is not real brass. So in that case, I just like to apply gilding wax, which we will use later. That is from Prima, decor wax, and it smells kind of good. To some people, I'm like, do you think this gilding wax smells good? And some people tell me no, and some people say, yes, it smells really good. So I will ask you about that.
So Nora is asking, she said she's still painting the table, but what about Zinsser 123 gray primer? Does that work pretty well as a primer?
It sounds like the same thing, just gray.
No, it needs to have shellac in it.
Okay.
Because it's a little more expensive and it's oil based and it smells so strong. It has a really strong odor, but there is not better primer. I tried a lot, and this is the primer I swear in, and I have to have it. And during like when we had 2 years ago, when everything was like getting the shelves are getting empty, there was no Zinsser primer with shellac in Home Depot, and I was like, oh my god. I kept going back and checking, and I got 2 big cans of it. I always have to have that on hand because that is the one I trust completely. Because you know that one is good. Why is good? Because it sticks to everything. You can literally put it on the laminated furniture and it blocks the stains. So it's doing 2 jobs. It's not only that it's sticking to the piece, but it's blocking if there's something to be blocked. So it's doing 2 jobs. And that's why I suggest that one. The one she asked about, I used that before, but I don't think that one is going to block the stain through.
bleed through.
Bleed
Perfect.
through. It's staying. Anish Sloan says staying. It just depends where you are. We in United States we say bleed through, but yeah, I think in Europe they say staying instead of bleed through.
Okay, and then the next question is, you need to sand in between coats. I'm guessing, do you sand between coats of paint?
No,
Or
you
between coats of
need.
primer?
Oh, because between primer, yes, it's suggested, but not sand like sand hard. All you need is the little pad, like super fine. I always have this on hand. Sometimes there's little bumps in the primer, so all you want to do is go lightly over it with something very fine.
Can you use the paper bag, the trash bag, the shopping bag?
You can even use the shopping bag, like the paper bag that we get in grocery stores. I always save them because they work really good to knock things down, but they are not actually sanding, because you don't want to work and then go too hard and sand it off. So yeah, use something very light. It's suggested when you're going for a nice smooth finish. A lot of times I love to create texturized pieces. So in that case, you don't need to sand those coats.
Okay, the next question says, my table has an arm that pulls in and out to hold the leaf up. How will the decor wax do in this piece?
I'm not sure what that will be. Oh, is that like a little handle that comes out?
Like a
Yes,
secretary?
yes. Like she's got a leaf table so that, you know, the table opens and the leaf
On the
comes out.
sides.
Yes.
And what is
So-
her question?
Will the decor wax work well for that to color that piece?
To color the things that come
The
out?
arm, yeah, the arm.
Yeah, it will look good. I'm not really sure. I don't know.
I think I understand. I think when you do this, you don't paint the actual arm. You just paint the front and maybe the sides of the front so that it doesn't get stuck. You know, the things you pull out of the
Do they-
secretary desk.
Yeah, okay, so
Yes.
her arm pulls out.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Correct.
never want to paint anything that pulls out. That goes in that area, you don't want to paint that area. You can put, you should be fine with wax because its wax is soft and it will slide nicely, but I never suggest to do anything with the handles that pull out, like on secretary desk or in your case, the drop leaf table, because there is no space in the hole inside. There is no space for anything except the handle to go back in. So that is my suggestion. You know, you can play on your own, you can experiment, but from my experience, I always made myself so much trouble and mess, and at the end I will have to sand all that off because it simply doesn't slide in and out how it's supposed to.
Okay, so she can put wax on the entire handle?
She can put wax on it. She can put, what I suggest to do is actually put on the front, the one that pulls out on the up front. She can paint that area and put wax there, but I don't really suggest putting anything inside. I can guarantee it will be a good idea. Otherwise, if, you know, because of my bad experience, there's cases when yes, it worked, but there's cases where it didn't work. So for the beginner, for starting this, it's better to leave as is than to get into the trouble.
She said, understood, thank you.
Of
And then
course.
we have another question. Michelle, you have your hand raised, but if you can ask your question in the chat, that would be great. And then Nora is asking, what about the chemicals in the shellac primer? Is it okay to have that furniture inside your home? She says, I know that it's better to air your place down if you're priming inside, but I mean, after with the finished product, I've just heard negative side effects when you have primed a piece of furniture that you have inside your home. She just wants to know your opinion.
It's fine, you're fine. Once, it's better if you do it outside. Yes, I always try to do it outside when I'm using that primer. If I'm going to do in here, I always make sure I open the door, even if I'm in the middle of the winter and it's -25 outside, I open the door because and I do wear a mask. I suggest you wear a mask. But once that is dry, you're fine. And you put the paint on top of that, you're fine. There is no smell, there is nothing. Shellac seals the pores, goes into the pore of the wood, and you're good. So it's safe to have it in your home.
Okay, Michelle, you said something about how to deal with the leather inserts on top. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking about.
Oh, you
Michelle.
can paint that. I think I know what she's asking, because some
Okay.
pieces have leather on top,
Okay,
like a table or a desk. You can paint over it exactly the same way I'm showing you to paint wood. You just go over every which direction, and it will stay there. I painted few pieces, and you will never think it was a leather there.
oh, that's amazing.
Yes, you can paint over leather. You can even paint leather chairs. It just, the process is a little different. You will have to thin down the paint, because you want your chair to be soft. So you will have to thin down the paint, but you can paint a whole leather couch, chair, stool, anything.
That just blew my mind, Kacha. That is absolutely amazing. Oh
And
my
that's
goodness.
why this paint is amazing. You can even dye your curtains or decor around your house. You know, it really sticks to everything. It's designed to stick to everything. You can paint wood, metal. You can even paint your patio furniture, outdoor pots. The only thing I will tell you later about protecting chalk paint. But when you do outdoor, you don't protect it. You just paint and you put it outside. So yeah, you can use on so many different stuff.
Kacha, what about fabric? Could you paint like a chair that you have that's fabric?
Yes, absolutely. You can paint the fabric. The only thing you have to do is you have to thin down your paint. So you have to like make it very like liquidy, you know, you want to add mix paint and water, protect the wooden areas, and then you go over it. Yes, you can do that too.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
It is. There's like possibilities are endless.
And Rebecca is asking if you have a dent in your furniture, how would you fill it?
If I have a dent, if it's too bad, just a wood filler, a little bit of Bondo. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit of that. If you need to close the holes, if you have a dent in your furniture or some deep scratches, you can always use a wood filler. There is so many out there on the market, but the best one really that won't move, it will give you the best results, is Bondo wood filler. Again, that one has a strong odor, so I really try to stay away from that. But you can just use simply a wood filler. I found some not long ago. It's called plastic wood. I found at Home Depot. It dries in minutes, so it's great if you want a quick project. If you don't want to wait for your wood filler to dry, I will show you it here. It's called plastic wood. Dries like in few minutes. It's great, durable, hard. And if you have missing veneer, which I wanted to tell you about, then you will use this one, which is Bondo wood filler. This one has strong odor. I highly recommend doing it outside. So when you look for furniture, if you have missing veneer and it's so much missing, I highly recommend you walk away from that. You're going to spend so much time into it, trying to fix that, trying to peel what you can peel, and then you have to patch everything. So not every piece, you know, it's a good idea. Some pieces I regretted buying. Like not long ago, I worked on Empire Dresser. I worked like 30 hours on prepping the piece before painting. And if you are doing that for yourself and you're trying to save a piece of furniture that comes from your family, from your grandparents, yes, it's worth it. But if you're trying to make a profit and do this as a business, then definitely it's not worth it, because your profit is gone in those 30 hours of preparing and trying to peel all the veneer. So it's just if you're a beginner, look for pieces that don't have so much damage. Look, the drawers always slides good. You don't have to do any fixing. All you have to do is paint. And that will give you so much confidence. You will have a nice finished product, no problems. And later on, maybe when you get more experience, if you have, it will give you a courage to buy a piece maybe that it's little more challenging to work on. So those are some few things to think about. When I was beginner, I bought so much furniture that the doors were broken or were not sliding, veneer was missing, and I'm like, yeah, I will fix that. Well, when it was time to move, we donated, I don't know, 15, 20 pieces of furniture that never got fixed. Like, I literally just gave it back to the Goodwill where it came from. So, those are just some things that we all make as a beginners. So I definitely suggest you look for better quality pieces. It's definitely worth it. If you find some piece that is gorgeous and it's amazing, is an amazing shape, and you want to do this as a business, you can sell it on Etsy. I highly recommend selling furniture on Etsy. And if you want to know how to sell on Etsy, I have a whole podcast on my channel on YouTube, and I will guide you through through everything, how to open an Etsy store and how to find a shipper and how to sell on Etsy in case you want to do that as a business. And I think my table is all dry. So we should carry on with the second coat. If there's not any questions.
We have one last question. She would like to know, what about Durham's water putty? It's very inexpensive. And she said she also used the plastic wood filler by DAP in a tube last night. And you're right, it dries very quickly and very easily and applies and no fumes. So have you used the Durham's water putty before, Kacha?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No,
but you would definitely go with those two that you suggested, the plastic wood filler or the Bondo.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
The plastic wood filler, I was impressed with it because wood filler usually takes time to dry. And you start the project and then you have to fill up the holes and then you're like, oh my God, now I have to wait like few hours. This 10-15 minutes, you're good to go. You sand it over a little bit and you're ready to paint. So definitely, whatever I show you today, those are definitely things that I'm so confident in, and I know they work, and I want you to have good experience with this painting furniture journey. And now we can start our second coat. So in prep video, I told you that having a mist bottle is a good idea. And you don't have to have a mist bottle. You can have a spray bottle. I work with spray bottle from Walmart with years, and it was just fine. This is more like giving you a mist, so it's nicer. But if you just have any spray bottle, will do. Also, you can use like Mr. Cleaner spray, the cleaner for around the house. Once you're done with that, you can just clean it and put some water in it, and there you got a mist bottle. So this one is important for second coat, usually, to give you a nicer finish. Also, your brush, after sitting for half an hour, sometimes I leave my brush for 2 hours to sit out while my first coat is drying, because I'm working on a large piece of furniture. You want to give it a little mist. Just a little mist. It will make a difference. So you can try it without the mist, without spraying a little water, and then you can try later on with water and you will see the difference. It just feels better on the brush. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We are going to paint the top first, working our way down. And using a little bit of paint as on the first coat. So let me get some paint on here. Okay. I have to leave my mist bottle. So on the second coat, it always feels a little tougher to go over. So just spray a little bit of water and it will spread nicer. Here, I got some hair. There we go. I got rid of it. And we're doing the same. We're painting in every which direction. Okay, I want to show you something about painting in. You can paint this way, old traditional way. You can paint that way as well. If you prefer that. I know some people don't like to paint in every which direction, but that's how I learned first to paint, and I love it better. And then if you're going to paint in this way, then I definitely suggest you spray water, because the more water you spray, the smoother and nicer your finish is going to come. So for that, you will have to keep spraying water for a smooth finish. But I want to teach you original and authentic chalk painted look first. And here I am spraying some water. A little bit of here. Okay.
Someone's playing with a bone.
Somebody's playing with the bone upstairs. In case you guys hear some noise, that's our Blue. Oh, baby boy. I missed some here. There we go. Just relax your hand, and yeah, it should feel smoother. It should feel smooth and nice. You should not struggle to go around with that paint. So just spray water as many times as you want. I mean, you don't want like to soak it all in, but you can keep on spraying if nothing is going to happen. This paint is water-based and it likes water. Okay. And now we're going to move on the bottom. I put way too much. I put so we're just going here. And I'm going to spray some water here too. Okay, and let's go to the top. I mean, the second, the bottom. There we go. And spray some more water. The second coat always goes a little tougher and harder. And if you leave your paint open, also your paint will start getting thicker from just sitting there open. Just remember that. So if you ever try to create a very texturized piece of furniture and a lot of texture, you can always leave your can open for a few hours and it will thicken out your paint. And to soften it out, all you have to do is pour some water in it. Okay. Great. And let's go on the legs. All right. I put too much. I can immediately, like as soon as I dip in my brush, I can immediately feel, I'm like, okay, this went too deep. But it will happen every once in a while. You just want to try to avoid that. You don't want that to happen on every dip, because every once in a while, you know, you can just spread it around.
I know everybody's busy painting, but does anybody have any other questions that you can think of so far?
That's good that everybody's busy.
Right?
Everybody's working hard. And I hope everybody's having fun, because, you know, this should be fun. I had the best time when I discovered this world of chalk painted furniture. You will probably have the most fun, I promise you, by yourself when you are in your room or wherever. I even did in the living room. So you put on TV, you put some good music that you love, and you just enjoy by yourself. That's when I have the most fun.
So now Lulu is saying that she has some spots where she primed that will not take the paint. So do you have any suggestions?
It will take the paint. She's just going to have to go over more times over there. It will take the paint.
Okay, so just maybe multiple.
Just keep on going. Yes,
layers.
just move on. Don't worry. If it doesn't, you will get it covered. Don't worry. Just move along.
She said, got it.
Yes,
Perfect.
Don't worry. We will get that covered. That can happen too, you know? Just don't be scared.
Okay, Kacha, so your muscles must be super strong in your arms, because I know mine are already sore.
You will think that, right? But actually, I'm not that strong.
Well, you have endurance. How's that? More endurance than I do.
Yeah, and this is nothing. I mean, this is just a little end table.
Heck, I'm only doing a little clock, and I'm having issues here. So
you're doing it, Jamie, too?
Yeah, I'm doing a little clock thing. We'll show you at the end. And nice. Sandra's doing a piano bench. So.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, I'm very busy all over my floor here.
That's nice.
And my biggest problem is I always get paint in my hair.
Oh no.
Because, you know, as you like what you're doing right now, Kacha.
Yes.
I do that, and then I've got a bun at the top of my head, so my bun keeps touching stuff.
Yes, I know what you mean. That can happen to me too with a bun on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I exactly know what you mean. But don't worry, it will wash off.
I know.
It's all organic. It's
And-
nothing, bad.
And this is a pretty blue. I wouldn't mind blue highlights. I'm good with this.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I got once a green, that dark green in my hair, and I thought it was hilarious. And it was kind of pretty the way it was there. I was like, okay, this is not bad.
Yeah, it's actually, depending on your color, it probably looks quite good.
Yeah. So let's go in here. Love it. I'm going to now to go on this side.
So you basically spray the water when it's rough, when it's not moving smoothly.
Yes, exactly. If you feel like you need to, if you don't feel like you need to, if you're fine, you don't have to spray water. It's totally up to you. But just remember, spraying water is going to give you, if you're going for that smooth finish, like back and forth painting, spray water is going to help you a lot with that. I got some paint on the wall.
Mary said people pay big money for that painted look, you guys.
What did she say?
She says people pay big money for that painted look. Maybe with your, yeah.
Yes, a lot. And also just so you know, guys, sometimes it will happen. I mean, this is very nice color, very safe to go with. But sometimes you will visualize something in your head, and you will pick some color, and you will do a piece of furniture, and you're absolutely going to hate it. That happens to everyone, every furniture artist I know. That happens to all of us. So don't be sad, disappointed if you find yourself that you are doing something you don't love. You can always just repaint, go over it, and repaint in some color that you love. But I just want to prepare you. If you're going to do this a lot, I just want to prepare you through stages that you're going to go through, and you are going to think that only happens to you, but it doesn't. It happens to all of us. Not long ago, I did some end tables, and I look at them, and I'm like, I think this is the ugliest thing I ever created. So, there's always those moments. Sometimes you pick wrong color. Sometimes you change your mind. So now we're just trying to cover this nicely. Are you guys getting a nice coverage except the bleed through? I mean, except the primer area where that is not covering yet. But everybody else, are you guys getting a good coverage?
I know I am. This
All
paint
right.
is beautiful.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. How everybody's feeling so far. Let's finish first this coat and we'll chat.
Yeah, I think everybody's got paintbrushes in their hands right now.
Good.
Yes.
I like to hear that.
And then I know Nora has her hand raised. Let me see. No, she's saying that there's some spots that won't take the paint either. And then she said the paint is rubbing off. So just what would you suggest?
Rubbing off. How? In which way?
Let's see what she says. She says when she goes to paint over it, it rubs off the first coat.
Okay, that's a little weird because, you know, was it dry? Maybe it wasn't dry enough, the first coat.
Where does she live? What state?
Let's see. She lives in San Diego, California. She finished the first coat when you did, so she had enough time to dry.
It was completely dry. Was it completely dry? Because that can happen when the first coat is not completely dry. You can lift it up. So what I suggest, it's, you know, just stop where she is now. Don't panic. It's fine. We'll fix it. Stop where you are. Just let that dry, that area where you worked on now. Just let it completely dry. And then you're going to get some paint and go over the areas where you had that were lifting off. You're gonna go over there. So just let now this dry wherever you are.
She asked if it mattered if her tabletop was glossy.
Yeah, I saw her table, but I've done so many pieces without gloss. It's fine.
Okay.
I think that the paint wasn't completely dry. I think that was the problem. The first coat wasn't completely dry.
Perfect.
Because yes, you can leave the first coat. You can leave the first coat when you're applying the second coat if the first coat was not completely dry. And is Nora, is that happening in some areas or everywhere?
She had said it was only in some areas. And
Those
then,
areas were not dry. Those areas were not dry. Wherever it was lifting, that's mean that those areas were not dry. But just let it dry now and let it dry. Don't touch it. When everything is dry, you're gonna go only over the areas that are lifted. You're going to go over there. First over there, apply some paint on that area, and then you're going to carry on, continue. So we will get you fixed, don't worry.
and Lulu had that problem the first time, and she was saying that her first coat wasn't dry enough at that point. So she followed your instructions and made sure it was completely dry and then did it again. So hopefully, Nora, we can wait for that area to completely dry and then get it covered again for you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's because
Kacha.
we're all in such different parts of the country. The humidity levels are different, and the amount of paint you use can make a difference. So there's a few factors that could lead to a longer dry time.
Yeah, but it can be fixed. Okay, I'm done. But don't rush, guys. Don't rush it. If you are not done, don't rush it. Take your time. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I just do this like every day for the last 6 years, every single day of my life. So I developed a speed, which you will eventually do. It's all about the practice. The more you practice, the easier it's going to get and the faster you're going to get. So don't think that you're doing something bad because you're not done yet and I'm done.
She's like a painting robot.
Yes.
All she does.
Okay, are we going to let it dry? I'm going to drink some water. And the lady that had problem covering the primer, once your paint is dry where the primer is, you're just going to add more paint on area that are primed. Just go over there on the next. So don't worry, we will get that coverage. Just the primer sometimes takes more coats to cover, but don't worry. So just now focus on trying to cover those areas. Instead of doing everywhere, just try to go over those areas to get the white covered. Okay. Here. Okay. We still have plenty of paint. I mean, my coverage is 100%. If anybody coverage is not 100%, there is actually enough paint for another coat. So, you know, you will see now once you're done with the second coat and you start seeing how everything is drying, you will see if the coverage is completely or not. The color looks a little bit brighter than my pictures because it's not protected, and that is normal. Because the clear wax that we're going to use and that you got in your kit is going to darken up your color. Not a lot, just a little bit, and that will give it such a nice, sophisticated look that I love about chalk painted furniture. That is my best, that's my best part because sometimes I visualize something, let's say I want a red piece, and I visual something in my head and I paint it and it's looking dull. But once I put that clear wax on, it becomes so rich and so nice and so sophisticated that makes huge difference. The reason I don't use top coats so many times, very rare, is because I don't like the artificial look they give to my pieces. That's totally personal preference, and you're going to find your style, what you love. I know some people are afraid of wax. They don't believe in it. They don't think it's a good sealer, but actually clear wax is amazing sealer. I don't know how many pieces around my house that are sealed with clear wax, and we are not those kind of people that are very nice to furniture. We're super after our furniture. We slide things, we put things, we have dogs who jump on the furniture and they slide it down. So clear wax is holding amazing. I have no chips.
A lot of people ask you, how long does it last? You need to redo it every 6 months. It's like a rumor that goes around.
So some people think that you have to redo it every 6 months. So I'm going to share this with you. When I took my first class for chalk paint for Annie Sloan, that was years ago, 6 years ago, I learned that if you're going to paint tabletops as a dining table or coffee table, then you will have to re-wax those areas every 6 months.
Or 12. 6 to 12.
6 to 12 months, you will need to rewax. If you have heavy use on the dining table or on coffee table, of course, if it's not heavy use, then you don't need to rewax it. But some people have used their dining tables a lot or coffee tables a lot. So that's what we were taught by Annie Sloan Stockist, and that is the only time you need to rewax your chalk paint. If you have painted your dining tabletop or coffee tabletop, that's the only time you need to rewax it. Other than that, I haven't rewaxed one single piece of furniture in my home, and I have some pieces that I've done years ago.
Isn't our dining table waxed?
Our dining table is waxed.
And it hasn't been redone in over a year.
I don't redo anything. I haven't redone anything or rewaxed any of my furniture because there is no need. Once clear wax is dry, and it takes up to 28 days for your paint and your wax to fully cure, you're good to go. You don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is use a damp cloth, to clean it, to dust it off. You can use harsh chemicals for cleaning your furniture after that. That's very important to know, but you're good to go. Those first 3 to 4 weeks, you want to be gentle with it. You don't want to slide anything on top. You don't want to slide some sharp objects. You don't want to bump it into anything. So you want to be gentle for 3 to 4 weeks. But once because that is the curing time, once that time is done, you're good to go. You're like fine. One thing to remember is this paint is water proof, but not stain proof. What that means is that if you spill a glass of water on your table, if you clean it immediately, you're good. You don't have to worry, there won't be a stain. But if you spill something, water, coffee, drink on your table, and you leave that there, the stain will appear and you will have a hard time cleaning it. So just that to remember. But if you spill some water, coffee, anything, just clean it immediately and you will be fine. You don't have to worry about that. So, there is a beauty in this clear wax and it's durable. I can promise you that because I have it in my home.
Somebody is asking if we're doing another coat or is that it?
Well, that's why I was asking if everybody's having a good coverage. How is the people feeling with their coverage?
So we have another question. I want to chalk paint my bathroom cabinet. What type of top cover should I use?
Top cover? Well, I will suggest you this is a new paint that is on the market. It's called Annie Sloan Satin Paint. This is not chalk paint. This is paint that is giving you a factory finish look. And it doesn't require any protection. And I've done two pieces. It has protection in it. I've done 2 pieces and I am impressed. So if I'm going to do my kitchen cabinets now or my bathroom cabinets now, I will use this paint. I will look more for that kind of like one-step paint where all you have to do is scuff sand. Remember, when you're using those regular paint that is not chalk paint, you will have to scuff sand. You will have to scuff sand. So I'm thinking when we get our home, when I redo bathrooms and kitchen, because I'll have to redo it to my own way, I will just scuff sand it and use Annie Sloan satin paint that has everything in it, and it will give me that nice factory finish, like modern, clean look. If you want to go with chalk paint, if you want to stick to Annie Sloan chalk paint, then maybe a good one is Varathine, right? That's how it's pronounced? Varathine from Rust-Oleum. You can find it in Home Depot. It's very affordable and it's very durable.
You mean the poly?
Mm-hmm.
The Varathine polyurethane. Got it.
Yes, Varathine polyurethane. I will show it to you. It's good, it's durable, and I use it so much with chalk paint and I know that it works good. So I'm going to show you the can. if you really want to stick to chalk painting your cabinets and you need to protect it. So you can go with this one. It's affordable, good quality. Used it so many times and I love it.
You got to be careful with polyurethane yellowing the light colors.
So that's another thing. If you're going to use white for kitchen cabinets, off-white, any kind of white, and there is like so many different kinds of white, then, and you put this, you have possibility of bleed through that we spoke at the beginning of this class. So
Or yellowing.
Yellowing is a bleed through. It's the same. It won't be red spots. It will be just yellow spots here and there. That can happen. So the best thing to do if you want to do that with your kitchen cabinets, take one door down when you're completely ready to ensure that you want to paint them. Paint it, put poly on it and see how it's going to look like in a week. Test it out. What I'm trying to say is just test out the area, test it out before you jump into doing everything and 2 weeks later everything is yellowing and
And no buildups.
And very important is if you put too much, when you're applying it, if you put too much, you can create buildups and you will have also yellow lines in the corners, yellow drips. So, thin coats, always thin coats with everything, regardless if it's chalk paint, any protection, thin coats. Even when you're applying shellac, this is a primary shellac, thin coats are the way to go. Forget everything about, when I started first, I was doing the same because I guess I saw in the movies or did I see on TV? I don't know. Where do we all get idea to just go like this into the can? We all get that idea, like go into the can with brush all the way in, like that's the wrong idea. That is like so staged. If it's from the movies, obviously those actors never painted anything in their life, or if it's in commercial, because you're not supposed to paint like that. You're supposed to just get a little bit of paint on your brush. So I know we all get an idea that we need to dip our brushes in cans, but we're not supposed to do that for better results.
So Michelle was asking, do you mean Annie Sloan wall paint, or is that different from Annie Sloan satin paint?
This is different. This is the newest one from Annie Sloan. Wall paint is just for walls. So now she has chalk paint, which is great for furniture, and she suggests that for furniture. That will be always her baby. Wall paint is just for wall, and satin paint is great for trims, kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, and for furniture when you want one solid color and quick flip. So, it's for, I did 2 pieces with that and I like it, but she doesn't have as many colors as she has with chalk paint because it's a new collection. So you can look up on her website. That is something, the newest, and I will definitely suggest that for kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, trims, doors, anything that you need one solid coverage, one solid color and smooth finish, So yeah, you can look that up.
That polyurethane was if you want to use chalk paint and add a higher protection to your bathroom.
Yes, the polyurethane that we show is not for Annie Sloan satin. Annie Sloan satin paint has a built-in top coat, but the polyurethane we showed you guys, that is if you want to use chalk paint. If you want to go with a regular chalk paint and you don't want to wax. To be honest, I wouldn't really use wax on my kitchen cabinets or on my bathroom. Maybe in the bathroom I will use because it's water resistant and it will be fine. But in the kitchen, where, kitchen is where you cook, you grab that all the time, you open cabinets so many times, I will definitely use, something stronger for protection than wax for kitchen cabinets. Also, you cook. So when you cook, the heat goes up, and if your piece is waxed, that heat is going to activate the wax. So I do know people who wax their kitchen cabinets as well. But
They're asking about this. This is a varathane polyurethane mat, water-based.
Does that answer your question, Rebecca? Any other questions while she's checking to see if there's any wet spots left?
I have, yes, my face is still drying. I don't know about you guys.
Kacha, what happens if I'm just running my hand over my piece and it doesn't feel, it's not smooth and it doesn't feel too rough, but there's definitely bumps. So do we do what you suggested earlier with either a paper bag or a super fine piece of sandpaper?
But what do you mean bumps?
Well, as I run my hand over it, it just doesn't feel, I suppose it's not supposed to be smooth. You've painted over it with paint, right? So I just feel like on my top of my piece, I feel like there's a few little bumps along the way. Maybe there was something, because there was a bit of damage on the seat that I'm painting.
Uh-huh.
And maybe that damage is actually coming through even now.
Well, also just remember what if you touch the paint now, it feels rough because it's chalk. It feels like chalk. But we're going to put wax. Once we put wax, it's going to get smooth and it's going to feel smooth to the touch.
Perfect.
So if that's what is bothering you, you know,
Yeah.
it won't feel rough. Yes, now it's rough. Actually, when you work with dark colors, it's actually not suggested to rub your hands over your final coat because you're going to leave white spots. So yes, it feels rough. It's chalk, right? That's what it's made of. So once we put the clear wax, it's going to get all nice and smooth. So don't worry, we will get it nice and smooth. And if you want to get it shiny, I will show. I will tell people how to even get it shiny. I love matte finish furniture. Some people love a shiny furniture. So there is a way to get shiny with wax. You don't have to, you can just buff it. I will tell you now, since the paint is still drying. All you have to do is, once you're done waxing, you come 24 hours later and you buff it. You buff out your piece with a microfiber cloth and it will become shiny right in front of your eyes.
Wonderful.
Also, you have techniques for being smooth. This is just a normal technique. There's ways to get this much smoother.
Yes, this is today what I'm teaching you today. This is a authentic chalk painted furniture look. If you want the modern, ultra modern flat look, I have those tutorials on my YouTube channel. Those are different techniques. That's where you will need to paint straight strokes and spray more water. But once you get comfortable with this, it will help you so much to achieve any other look you want later on. This is just to learn the basic of chalk paint.
Perfect. And Michelle Gardner is asking if we can use a heat tool to speed up the drying.
Blow dry will be better.
Okay.
I mean, I don't suggest heat gun because heat gun can lift the paint. Like it can bubble, crackle. I don't suggest it. That's heat gun. It's bad idea. But if you have a blow dryer, yes, you can just start blow drying around it. Definitely you can. And don't go too close. Don't go too close to your piece. Try to hold it up further from and move it around.
There's another question. She says that hers does not look as dark as yours, Kacha. Should she go another round, or do you think that just might be the
I think that's the lighting. If I get closer, you can kind of see it's also the lighting, and it's wet.
Yeah.
As it dries up and as we change the lighting, it might not be as dark, but when I come back here, I notice it's pretty dark too.
What?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the lighting, and don't worry, it will get darker because we're going to apply the wax and we have black wax and it will get all darker.
And for those of you who don't know, our wonderful camera guy and the other guy answering the questions is Kacha's husband, Carlos. So we want to give him a big thank you too.
Yes, Carlos is here behind the camera, always helping.
Are there any other questions before for Kacha?
And all you have to do to take care of your brush after you're done painting completely, all you have to do is just rinse it with hot water, warm water. It doesn't have to be really hot. If you wash it immediately after you're done painting, it will extend the life of your brush. So the more chemicals you use to clean your brushes, the less they're going to last. So all you have to do, the best way to clean your brushes is just as soon as you're done with the project for the day, rinse it with warm water, and sometimes you gotta just let that water run for a little longer. And always, if you have any Sloan brush, always keep your brush this way to dry on a towel. I usually put a towel and then I put like this, and that's how my brush dries. If you have flat brushes, it's the same. Wash them immediately. Once you're done washing them, you want to lay them down like this to dry. So very important for your brushes to last, because you don't want to keep buying new brushes. If you are in the middle of project and let's say you want to continue painting tomorrow, you are not done yet with your project and you don't want to wash your brush, all you have to do is either put your brush into a Ziploc and zip it really good so there is no air, or wrap plastic wrap around your top, around your brush, and leave it like that. So protect it from the air. And that way, when you come back tomorrow, you will have a nice fresh brush to continue working with. If you leave it like this and it dries out completely, which happens to me every once in a while, all you have to do is soak it in hot water with Murphy oil soap. Soak it for 24 hours in hot water, Murphy oil soap, and it will become nice and smooth again. It will just take way longer. So that will happen to me. You know, sometimes I paint and I just have to go somewhere and I forgot I left my brush like this to dry. And I don't like when I see that, but it happens.
So Michelle is asking, the front of her drawers are very bumpy from previous damage. Will the transfers disguise this?
If it's bumpy and if she wants to put a transfer on top of that, she can.
She's saying, will it hide the bumps?
Yeah, it will hide the bumps actually, yes. It's a good idea when you have some damage, you know, that you want to hide, you can put, it will hide it. It will mask it really good. There is always a way around it. And the next part is going to be, once we're done painting, we're going to apply some transfers. And we're going to use Redesign with Prima White Magnolia transfer, which I love so much. It's such a pretty and sophisticated transfer, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. Redesign with Prima has amazing products to complement your furniture. You know, if you're looking for something extra, when I started painting furniture, I just painted it in one solid color. And then there was a point in my life when I decided that's not enough. I want extra. I want more. I want to add more stuff to my furniture. I want it to look different, you know? So that's when I started discovering Redesign with Prima products, and they have so many. From transfers, they're the most famous for transfers, but they have stencils And by the way, I have 3 stencils and 2 transfers coming in June on my own collection with redesign with Prima. So I'm excited about that. And they have decoupage paper, rice paper, decor molds, and of course, decor wax, stems. Did I miss something? They have so many stuff to complement your furniture, to take your furniture to another level. I know not everybody, some people love simple, one solid color, they don't love anything extra, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's bad, you know, we all love different stuff and you can love both. Sometimes I do simple because some customers love simple stuff. But if you want to experiment more, you know, I definitely suggest you check out Redesign with Prima. Their stencils are actually, in my opinion, the best quality in the industry. They're thick, they're sturdy, you know, it just makes your job easier, because when you are trying to create 3D stencil, like I'm trying to create so many times, and you have a thin stencil that is very cheap and poorly made, that will make your job way harder. So transfers are a basic way to go. You can always start small, like we're going to do today. This is a smaller transfer. They actually have huge one, like this one, that takes 2 hours to transfer it on the piece of furniture because it's really large. It literally took me 2 hours to transfer this on a china cabinet. It comes in 6 pieces like this. But that's when you get more comfortable with transfers.
Probably the gilding wax is the safest, easiest, and immediate impact.
And we're going to use that today. We're going to use this today, but this is going to be, you guys can see I use this a lot. Everybody got in the kit one of these. This is our very last step. Unfortunately, that's the hardest for me. I love gold the most, and I have to wait all through a whole project to put it at the end.
I'm saying if they're going to use one product from Prima to experiment and take it a step further,
yes,
that's the easiest. That'll give you the biggest impact. And they have
it will
colors.
give you, yes, you can. That's how I started. I first bought decor wax, gilding wax. Decor wax is, it's actually called, you know, it's a gilding wax because you gild it. So that's how I started. I painted furniture. I'm like, I want something extra. And then I discovered gilding wax, and I started gilding my furniture. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, this takes your furniture to another dimension. And then you start adding transfers, and then you start adding stencils. So you can add as much as you want or as little as you want. That is your art, you know. Don't be scared to go out of the box, because every time I experimented and went out of my comfort zone, some good stuff happened there. So just, you know, don't be afraid. And that's why, you know, I tell people it's important to practice first on small tables and gain confidence to do something bigger.
Show them the workstation.
Oh yeah. I can show you my workstation. It's a mess. This is the paint I was talking about. I have my brushes here.
That's the new Annie Sloan paint.
That's new satin paint. And then I have all my
Should I show them this? How it came out?
yeah, oh, the glass with gel.
Yeah, this is what the satin paint looks like. This week's video with glass bead gel, but it's very smooth and just doesn't need anything. No real prep and no protection, so it's fast.
Yes. And somebody put fingerprints on it.
Sorry. How's everyone doing? Sounds like everyone's painting.
Sounds like everybody is busy.
Watching paint dry, does that count?
Yep,
need
that's
to
what I'm
find-
doing on my side, watching paint dry.
So now you said that you have a dog upstairs, but not everybody knows about your fur babies.
Fur babies, yes, we have. They're a big part of our business, let's say, of our painting furniture journey. Actually, I can tell you a little bit about that.
Someone's asking the glass bead gel you use.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me show them the glass bead gel.
Well,
That is from Redesign with Prima.
why did you choose the glass bead gel over a just a texture paste?
Because glass bead gel, it gives you that glamorous, fancy look where it has a little sparkles, where the regular texture, the regular paste, it doesn't give you that, you know? So this is more glass bead gel. You mix it with a metallic paint and it will give you that little touch of glamour, sparkle, where the, you know, texturized paste is just, it just gives you a raised stencil and you paint over it. It doesn't give you, you know, anything glamorous.
Depends where you're going.
Yeah, but I do it both ways. Actually, I'm going to show you what I use for that. So this is 3D stencil fiber paste by Redesign with Prima, and that is for just raised stencil. So I apply this before painting, and then I paint, and then you have a raised stencil, and you know, you just have that extra look on your front doors if you do it. And where glass bead gel, you know, you mix it with metallic paint, and you do it at the end of your project. You don't do it before painting, and it will give you that glamorous look. So this 3D fiber paste I use more for you know, texturized look, where glass bead gel I use for more glamorous look. And also, you know, so let me show you actually. You can also mix these two. Redesign with Prima have metallic sheen. They have few shades, and you mix these two, and it will give you, you know, metallic glass bead gel. So that is definitely one of my favorite things to do. And Blue is here. Blue, come here. Blue, come here. Come here. Let me show you guys. Blue is here. No, come here. Look. Come here. Look. Here is Blue.
Oh.
Here is Blue.
So cute. So excited
Hi.
to see you.
Hi, Blue.
Now, how
you
old
got-
is he?
Blue is 1.5. Hi, Blue. He is so cute. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He likes to paint furniture with his mama. Yes. Okay, okay.
I have seen him in some of the pictures and the little videos that you posted. So he is really adorable.
Thank you. He's always around. Always around here with us. And how is everybody doing with the coverage, with the drying time?
Ours is almost fully dry, as you can see. There's a little couple spots.
So Julia's asking, she says, my cabinet doors material from IKEA is quote, parcel board,
Particle board?
particle board, paper, foil, plastic edging. How can she prep that for the paint? Does she need to do anything?
With Zinsser primer with shellac.
Okay, perfect.
She has to use that. She has to use that. That is a must. A whole piece has to be primed with that, and 2 coats with a roller.
Everybody is totally loving your dog. Sindhu says, He is so cute. And then you
Blue.
have, he is a beautiful, love dogs, have a 6-year-old Roddy from Susan. Melanie is saying her coverage is good and it looks dry. And Jancy says, blue is beautiful. We have fur babies too. And my very pregnant dog is watching this class.
Oh,
is
that
so
is so
cute.
cute. Oh my goodness.
So cute.
Oh my goodness, Blue. I mean, that's how we get a lot of hair in our projects, by shaking it off. Like he will come right next to my piece when I'm working on the floor and my piece is wet, and he will be like, oh, let me shake everything, all my hair off. And then I have to go pick it up. What you doing? Oh, his ears. So yeah, my studio is getting really cold because the sun is out here, and I'm noticing how my second coat is drying way slower than my first coat, and that's how much temperature is playing a big role in the drying time. And what happened to us this winter, actually, our heat broke down in the middle of the winter, and we live in Maine, and it was minus 20 degrees outside. So, and I had a deadline, and I was trying to finish a project that I had to finish, and my paint just was not drying. And then I tried painting it, I closed the drawers, and when I try opening the drawers, my paint started cracking. So I definitely don't suggest you paint in very cold environment. It will cause you all kind of problems. You don't want to paint below 60 degrees, you know. I really don't suggest that because you can run into all kind of problems. Painting in a really hot environment, I don't know how that will be because I really never painted.
Yeah, in Miami, it took forever to dry, remember?
I painted once in Miami, but it was indoor, inside the house.
And it was laminated or glossy.
It was glossy, super glossy. So it was taking longer to dry. I know that is the difference. So definitely the temperature and the environment you work in has big role to play with the drying time. But eventually everybody's furniture will be dry. So we can continue with our steps. And the next step is.
Kacha, we've got a question, or not a question, more of a statement from Nora. Firstly,
Yes.
She says he is a beautiful dog. And then she says, so I have to keep going over the bare places like 3 times to get it covered.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because that happens, Nora, I want to tell you, it's not that your table was glossy, because I promise you, I painted on way glossier furniture than that. The problem was when you applied the second coat, and of course we were like, okay, let's go the second coat. So when you started doing the second coat, wherever your paint lifted, that means that your first coat was not 100% dry. It was probably like 90% dry, and those areas were wet, and then you lifted it. So that will happen, but don't worry when that happens. Sometimes when I'm impatient and I'm like, okay, I'm going the second coat, and I lift some corner. So just cover that area where whatever is lifted, and then you will carry on, you know, with the finishing your project. But just so you know, you have an idea for future, you know, it's very important to wait your first coat completely dry before you go to the second one. And sometimes you have to do 3 coats. Just so you know, usually with white colors, you have to do 3 coats, most likely. With the darker colors too.
Just want to let you know that we have about an hour left in class and then we have 30 minutes to show off our pieces. So.
And can we go over?
Yeah, that is not a problem.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Hopefully
maybe
everyone dries on. Where are you gonna put the transfer, on the top?
on the top. Yeah, it's fine. We will wait another 10 to 15 minutes for paint to dry. If we go over, that's fine. I would rather go over the time than than not finish everything that we wanted.
Okay.
1 hour is, once we're dry, 1 hour is enough time to put the transfer protection and the gold wax. Those stuff will go faster. The drying time is the one that takes the most. So
Perfect.
don't worry.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break, and everybody can use the restroom, grab some goodies, grab some snacks. I'm gonna stop the recording, and then we'll
Perfect.
come back in 10 minutes so that we can have time for everything to dry, and Kacha can have some puppy time.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Go.
All right. Okay, and we're back. So I put my table down because the next step is applying the transfer, and it will be much easier to apply the transfer when the table is on the floor. When I put it down, I realized that I missed a little area here because my table was really high above my eyes, and I just went over that area here. And now I'm just using a blow dryer to speed the process so I can continue with the project because I need this to be dry to apply the transfer. So we're just going to mute us for a second so you guys don't hear all this loud noise, and we'll be back just in a second.
And OT will get to your question as soon as we're done with the blow dryer. She's going to go over all the transfer questions and all of that goodness. So I'm sure she'll talk about where to place your transfer as well. Does anybody else have any questions before she gets started on the next process?
All right, so this is actually still going to dry since I probably should have not touched it, but I can work around this. This can dry. I actually can answer questions if people have any questions before we go into the transfer.
There was just a question, is there a specific process you use to determine where to place the transfer on your piece?
Okay, yes, that's a good question. So when you have a piece of furniture, one thing I suggest is that you go around let me actually show you a few example of transfers, and that would be easier. Okay, I have few transfers here, and I want to show you some difference. So this is a full picture of the transfer. This is already put together for you. These transfers are usually a little more expensive because they're large and they come in 6 sheets, as I was telling you earlier. This is great to go all over the front drawers of your furniture. Like put it right in the middle, start right in the middle, and it can look gorgeous on the back of your china cabinet, on the front drawers. So these are the easiest to work with. And as I said, they're a little more expensive, but again, you don't have to worry about it. You can just put it on and it's going to look gorgeous. They already did the job of putting the roses together for you. Where we have this kind of transfer that can be used as is, and or it can be cut separately. So you go ahead and you cut each branch, and that will look the best on the corners of your drawers, on the side of your furniture. Try avoiding like cutting branches and putting them right in the middle, and then you have emptiness around it. That can look a little weird. So you have another one that is roses, but they're all separated. So you can layer them, and that always looks the best around the doors, on the corners, on the sides. You can layer them together because they come like this, separated, and you can make your own design. You see how it's on the package? This is put in the corner. This looks the best when it's like this in the corner. And this one, you see how this looks in the package? It's randomly put here and there. It's not right in the middle. So the branch is coming from outside of your furniture, going in to the center. And then this is all over the dresser. So I picked Magnolia transfer that we're using today. That one also can look great on the furniture as well. And it can look gorgeous on the top of the chairs. I love 10 tables. I love to put the design on top, and I'm going to show you another great transfer to put on top of your furniture. Words. These always look beautiful on top of your tables, and you can cover everything. So these kind of transfers can be placed on front or on the top. It's totally up to you how you vision it. So there's few ways to apply the transfers.
Would you recommend starting small because the bigger ones can get a little
Yes, I was telling you earlier, I definitely recommend starting smaller with smaller transfer. That's why I picked this one for today, so you can experience it. One thing that you need to know, that redesign with Prima transfers are the best put directly onto the paint, onto chalk paint, before protection. A lot of people are confused about that. They think, when are you supposed to apply the transfer? So you paint your furniture, you make sure your furniture is completely dry before you apply your transfer. Because if you apply wax, if you have a piece, let's say, and you already wax it, well, your transfer won't stick to wax. It will stick to polyurethane. If you have a piece that you put polyurethane on it already, it will stick on it, but then you have to go again and protect the transfer with the polyurethane. So remember that the best way to go is directly onto your chalk paint. It sticks without any problems, and it looks beautiful. So we are going to, so I want to show you something. The area that I touched is still getting dry. So I'm just going to work around it. It's not a big deal because this is dry. So we are going to layer our transfer. I actually want to make sure everybody's ready for that. I don't want to start without people. So how are people doing?
Susan is ready.
Yeah.
Melanie
Melanie's ready.
is ready.
Mary's ready. Let's see. Nancy and Jason are ready. Perfect. Okay, I think you can go ahead and start. It looks like quite a few people are on and ready.
Okay. All right.
So if it's a little modeled, just try to go around it like your front corner.
Yes, I'm actually going instead of, because in my sample class, I layer the transfer on this side. So instead of doing on this side, I will do on this side and the problem fixed. That way I don't have to hold on a whole class. So.
Also, you can go back when the piece dries. If there's like a specific part you wanted there, you can just wait for that to dry and add it at the end, you know, when you're done with the other pieces. Hopefully it's dry.
Yes.
Don't laugh at me.
I'm not sure. just
You can do other pieces and wait for this to dry and then put the
Yes.
piece you want there later.
Yes, you can. You can do that too. So there's few ways to go around it.
Everyone's ready?
Everyone's ready? Oh, everybody's waiting for me?
I believe so.
Okay. So we got 3 sheets here, and you get a little stick to rub your transfer on. So we are going now to, you can layer this as you want. We have few flowers, and let's see. I always start with which one I want to be on the top. So I want this one to be on the top. I want this one here. Let's see. Or maybe not. So just test it out. Let me actually test it out so you guys can follow me.
And you guys can do this any way you prefer.
Yes,
all.
you can do this on the door. It doesn't have to be the top. We can do it on the door. We can do it on the top. We can do it wherever you guys want it. It can be just a little corner. It can be one flower. It can be a bunch of flowers. So whatever whatever you like it, whichever way you want to go. So let me see. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start here. That one is going to be my top. And then I'm going to keep adding on the bottom more.
Okay, blue scissors.
That's the work of blue. So let's cut this off. So we are going to put this on top. And we can use this one under it. So I'm going to cut this little branch here out of my picture. Blue is not happy. And we're going to put this one here. And we can put this one here. Okay. Let's do this way. Let's put this one here. And let's put this one here. This is going to be better. And sometimes, you know, I have to try this few times. It's always good to layer them before you actually glue them on, because once you glue them on, that's it. You can't go back. So it's always better to test it out, you know, move your design around, just see what you prefer the best. Okay, blue.
Yeah. He does not care. what
We're
we do.
trying to do a class here, blue. Okay, we can do this one here. That will look gorgeous. And then we can do the branch here. We can play. So let's start with this one. So all you have to do is peel the transfer. Okay. And I'm going to start with this. Like this. And this can go overlap on the side. That actually looks very good when you look your table from the side. So all you have to do is just rub this, start rubbing. And you're going to start lifting this.
Slowly make sure everything comes off.
Yes, very slowly. I find that these little transfer are so easy to transfer on. And you see, I'm trying to leave this leaf, but it's not transferred yet. So I have to rub it in.
What are you gonna do with the corner? Just go over it? Over the side?
Yes.
Okay. That is the corner in the front left. Nora. So bottom left.
Okay. And that's it. We transfer our first piece. It looks so pretty. I love this transfer on this color. It looks so, so gorgeous. So now I'm going to add this one. No, I want this one. let's go with this one here. So you're trying to like connect them. And there is no wrong, let me tell you, you can just enjoy that. You can layer them as you want. I'm going to cut this little piece here out because I'm going to actually, this is my filler, and always remember that. Those are your little fillers. You never want to throw them away. These little parts, they're so good to fill things out with. And even if you don't use them, you can apply them on something else. So I'm going to put this one here. So just have fun, like put them as you want, because there's no really wrong way to put them on.
When you get little scratches from going too hard, does that get fixed with the wax?
Yes, it gets fixed with the wax, don't worry. We will fix that later. You don't have to worry about that.
And Kacha, is it okay if your transfer overlaps on another one? It doesn't peel up the transfer underneath it?
Nope, absolutely. You can
She's overlapping the sides.
you
too.
can overlap it as much as you want on the side, on the top, whatever you want. It doesn't mess up. You can actually layer them as much as you want. And I'm gonna get out this little one, which I told you it's my filler, and I'm going to put it right here because why not? It's so cute. Here we go. We're going to fit it right here. That's my filler. So never throw away these fillers, and sometimes you can use them for some other project to fill other transfer. If you have something that it's need more fillers. Little filler, super cute. And now what we're gonna put on this is another filler that I'm going to add. I'm going to wait on this filler and add it somewhere else. But now I want something nicer for the top. And I'm actually going with this one. I'm going to add that one or.
So there you go, you're gonna overlap it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We're going actually to put this one. Okay, let's cut this one. So when you practice with this little transfer, that will give you so much confidence, because first time I used the transfer, it was a huge transfer and I was so intimidated by it. And that was interesting experience. So this will just give you so much confidence. So let's go here.
I guess you want to be real sure before you paste it down, because some of them could be really sticky and hard to take off without taking off the transfer.
Yes.
So take your time picking your spot when you take the adhesive part off, right?
Yes, just take your time when you're peeling this off.
Or when you decide, once you put it down.
Yes, so make sure you really want to put it where you want to put it, because once you like put this on, it's there. Like if you try lifting it off, you're going to have a mess.
You can fix it, but you have to sand it and then redo it. That would be the fix, right?
Yes, you will have to, if you do a piece of furniture and you don't like the transfer or you want to change it in the future, you have to sand it. And actually sanding can be quite hard. So the best way to do it is a hot gun. Okay. Hot gun and a spatula will remove it. So let me find my little filler and I want to put it right here. It's super cute. And these are so cute to do on jewelry boxes. So like this one, this transfer will probably give you like 2-3 jewelry boxes you can do with one pack of this transfer. Look how cute that is looking. I love it. And I want this long branch. I love this long branch here. This one here. And I want to add it here. Shall I add it? No, this table is too small. Yeah. So also it's supposed to look like proportional, you know? So hold on. All right. When you get up, I have to see my design from the upside.
From the top.
From the top, upside. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Is that all I have left? Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this little branch here, I'm actually going to separate it, and I'm going to show you how. Just go around here, and I want to get this little branch here out, because you can do that. And I'm going to add it right here.
And you guys at home can pick your own pattern if you don't want to design it like hers. It's really a personal thing.
Here we go. I love it. And I just want one to hang out on the top. So I'm going again back to this one to separate it. And I'm going to separate it a few more times. So you get plenty of designs. That's going to look too busy. I want one here, right here. So you see, I'm going actually to put it on top of this. There we go. That is so cute. I love it. So you can do this as much as you want, as long as you actually have materials of it. Eventually you're going to run out of materials, but you can just keep on going. This one is so cute here too. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Put one here. So just play with it. And you have leftovers, never throw away, as I said, never throw away these little fillers. We can even keep on going here. Drop one more here. Yeah, let's do that. Make it extra because I love extra. And some people say less is more, but I think more is more. So just have fun. That's the most important part. Look at that. Love it. Beautiful. We got a little curve there going on. Let me just see something. I don't have more fillers. All right. I just wanted this little here one. Look at this little one. You can cut them as little or as big as you want it. And I want to make this fuller. So I'm going to add it here. And I'll always just rub it on. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. And this one. And this is going to overlap as well, but that's fine. I want that area to be full. Oops. This didn't connect here, right here. So I'm just going to cut it out. Beautiful. I love, 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 love how this looks. So what do you guys think? And how is your transferring going?
How do you just suggest I lay them out on a drop leaf table?
On a drop leaf table? Let me think. Let me think. Well, you can do the same like I did. If you want, you can do the design on the side where the drop is on that side, or you can do it just on the top without, you know, the drop side. So, or yeah, I will definitely do it like that. I will either do it on the drop leaf where the leaf is dropping, one side of the leaf, one side of the table, or yeah, I will do that. Let's do, I think that would be the best idea to go, because if you put it right on top, it will, you know, it can look a little weird, but I will probably do it on the top where it's dropping, so it can look very nice and elegant. And you can even do a little bit of the transfer going into the top. So if this is your top, I will start like this one here and then keep on going on the drop leaf. So when you open, it's one connected piece, but when you drop it, you have a little bit on the top and the rest of it is dropping with the leaf. So that's my idea. You know, that's something that I can really quick think of. You know, there is probably more ideas. So it's definitely what you feel is the best way to go.
Clear the top so I can show them what it looks like.
Yes.
This is what a cute assistant will get your tools looking like. Nice. Lulu says it's beautiful.
Thank you very much. And how are you guys doing? How is your transfer going on?
Jason and Nancy said that they're taking their time, but it's transferring really well.
Perfect. Just take your time. Yes.
I'm finding these transfers so easy to use. So much easier than when you have them on the big rolls. I just find they're coming off so well.
Yes, yes. I find it too, that they come out way easier, the smaller transfers than the big one.
Yeah.
Very easy to use. You can't really go wrong with this design, Magnolia, white Magnolia. It's so easy to layer on top of each other. Literally fits any. My table is still drying. I have parts that I had to go. Oh, yeah. Okay, no worries. I understand your paint, you know, you had parts to go over where everything is still drying. So yeah, it's very easy to use. You cannot really go wrong. It's just, you know, whatever you imagine in your head, and you're just supposed to have fun with it. You can even drop it a little bit on the door. So we can even do that.
Let's let them catch up.
Okay.
So what made you decide to do your transfers all on one side, Kacha? Is it just something that you prefer to do, or?
It looks more elegant. That is something that I prefer to do. Yes. So when it comes to flowers, I love to put them on the side. If I'm going to put some words, like the transfer I was showing you earlier, where it has the words, like, you know, like this one. Actually, let me show you. Like this one that has the words, then I will lay it all over the top. But just for the flowers, this is, I think it gives very nice, elegant touch to furniture. And also you can do this on the front dresser. It looks amazing as well.
On the side of the front dresser?
On the side, on one side, or just imagine this is a, you know, front of the dresser, and you just put them on one side, and that looks very pretty. But yes, you can really place them as you like. Whatever makes you happy and what you see, whatever is your vision. After we're done with the transfers, I will let people catch up with the transfer. After we're done, we are going to move on to waxing. And so what we're going to focus, so since we don't have that much time left, what we're going to focus is to teach you how to protect your, we're going to focus on top and front. The sides are something that you can do after the class, so you can, you know, finish that off. But we're going to protect the top, the front. We're going to age it with a dark wax, actually black wax, and we are going to put gilding wax, and we'll be all done. So there is few more steps left to do. I'm just going to let everybody catch up on first.
Is everyone, does everyone have the top and the front dry? Or are those, is anyone having problems with the top or the front? Or does anyone have any questions?
I think everybody's busy working. And I have to fix this corner.
Okay,
It's not looking good.
I've still got a little section on the top that's all dry. Oh, Jancy in Colorado is all dry. That's normal.
Yeah, Colorado is always dry first. Colorado will always be dry first for some reason. So I have.
We had the same experience in Colorado.
I have to fix this.
What's wrong with it?
My side, this corner that I touch up is just dark and something is off with it. So I'm just going to do this and hopefully that will fix it by the time everybody is done with everything. I'm just going to use this time to fix my problem. So sometimes it's the best not to touch it. When you try to touch something to fix, you actually make a worse mess. So, but that happens and it's fine. And as I said, it's just paint. You can always fix it.
So Melanie is asking, she says, you have a bottom shelf like I do. Would you suggest putting a transfer on the bottom also, or is that just too much?
Absolutely, you can do it. If you want or if you have more flowers left, you can do it. And that will look gorgeous. I was thinking about that, but I'm definitely not going to have enough flowers. But if you didn't put too much on the top, go ahead and it's going to look gorgeous. I thought about that and I think it's a great idea. So, and I love to hear that people have their own vision and their own ideas about projects, because that's all this is about.
I'll do some blow drying. I'll mute it real quick.
You should be okay. The way that this works, when you blow dry, for some reason, it takes it out. At least it has in the past for teachers that have used heat guns.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, let me know
So
if it's bothering you guys.
We can test it when you start blow drying and we'll let you know.
Can you hear us?
Nope. Cannot hear the blow dry. You're good.
Oh, nice.
Good.
You hear it for 2 seconds and then it fades out. Do you guys have any other questions about transfers or about anything that has been done so far?
Huh? Graduate classes. At Juno State. What you can do is just focus on the front while that dries more. And just keep going. I'll help you while they catch up.
So how is everybody doing with the transfer?
I got a question. I'm thinking about adding stencil with the transfer. Do I do that before wax or after?
And what do you want to use to add your stencil with a decor wax? If the answer is yes, then you do that at the very end of everything.
And if it's paint, you do it now.
And if it's paint, you do it now. Yes, before we wax it.
Jason and
It looks
Nancy
like-
finished with the transfers.
Nice.
Jancy is having fun and very happy she took the class.
Oh,
Michelle's
yeah.
still working.
That's okay. I'm glad to
Crystal's
hear.
all done.
Nice,
Melanie's done.
nice.
Jancy is dry. And Odie, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is that's the one having trouble getting everything to dry.
And where is
Yes.
Audie from? Is it some?
Yeah. I believe she lives in Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because our
Oh, no,
temperature.
she's in Texas. I'm sorry. She's in
Yeah.
El Paso.
Oh, okay. Our temperature is dropping, but we have humidity, so it's completely changing the way things have been drying since we started.
So let's give it about another minute. And
Yes,
then we'll
and
go
if you-
ahead and
Oti
Continue.
Martinez, if you have an area that is still not dry on top.
Oh, he's good now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What we might do is to not take too long is we'll do the waxing, aging, and gilding in the front. And that way you guys can just see all the proper techniques and do it to the rest of the piece
I
when we're done.
think that's a perfect idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be honest, the reason this class is going normal than a regular class is because this is pretty much a beginner and intermediate class all in one. Because normally in a beginner class, you're going to learn the basics of chalk paint and wax,
And you're done.
and you're done. So
So
the
we're
fact that we're going to gild and age and do transfers, we're jumping into more intermediate and advanced stuff.
Yes.
So it's really good because you're learning so much, but it's not the best to be quick.
I'm packing it with so much information, from how to chalk paint to how to put transfer, and then have to protect it and age it and gild it. So it's a lot of techniques that we're covering today. But you know,
You guys are doing really good because
Yes, I'm very proud of you.
Step 1 and step 2, and we're pretty much doing them both, and no one is falling behind.
I'm
or
very
confused.
proud of all of you guys that are you doing, and you know, and I'm glad to hear that you're having fun. You know, we are going just to focus now on some areas, and then we're going to you know, you can always like tomorrow, if it's getting too late at your home, wherever you're from, you can tomorrow get up and finish the sides, finish the legs, which what I mean is the waxing and gilding part. But now I just want to show you how to do that. And that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to wait a little bit more. I just want to do this here. And we will be just fine.
Just to the front.
But I want to show them how to age the transfer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I have a question. So
Yes.
what happens? You have your chalk paint, but if you touch certain areas of the chalk paint, it kind of turns whitish.
Of course.
Will that go away when you put the wax on?
Yes, yes. When we put a wax on, that is going to go away. And once it's cured, so that's why it's important for your pieces to cure for first 3 to 8 weeks. So you won't be getting that. So don't worry. And that's why it's important not to touch your pieces in between the coats. Obviously, when you're putting transfer, you have to touch it. But that
Right.
will all go away. That will all go away with the wax. So don't worry about that. That's normal. You're not doing anything wrong, and that will go away. It won't stay like that. Otherwise, it will look weird.
And Nancy and Jason say that they love all the wonderful information and they're learning a lot. And Michelle
Yes.
says that it's all good, I'm guessing in terms of class timeline, and you are teaching us so much, which you are, and you are absolutely amazing, Kacha. We're all learning so much, and I think everybody's not talking because they're having too much fun.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm trying to load you with so many information. So when you leave this class, you're like, okay, I got this. I can do this on my own. Like, you know, you will have confidence. And the point is to, like, you know, transfer all the errors that I had to go through and little tricks that I was telling you, use this, use that. So you don't have to go through what I went through 6 years ago when I started this journey. I made so many mistakes because back then there was not all information on YouTube. So when my drawer got bleed through first time, I didn't even know what is that. So some guy, woodworker, told me that was like a bleed through and I need to use shellac. So little things, you know, are important, little information. So I want you to, you know, the next piece you do, I want you to do a big dresser or, you know, or something larger and bigger, and you can feel confident that you got it, that you know, you have, and maybe you want to sell it. A lot of people I know are doing this as a part-time job. A lot of people turn this into business. So definitely, if you have passion for it, you know, you can make it happen.
Nora turned down a concert tonight for free because she wanted to be here so much and has no regrets.
Oh my God, Nora, you're
She said
amazing.
she loves this. Thank you, Kacha. You're amazing and so nice. And thanks to me as well. You're welcome.
Yes, Carlos is always behind the camera. A lot of people don't know that, but I wouldn't be where I'm today if it wasn't for Carlos. He is my support in every way, and you know, he supported me when I needed the most support, when I didn't have confidence in myself to share my work with the world. He helped me get there. He was like, you need to do that. Like, you need to show people what you can do. So, and he's always behind the camera helping us, and he is producing all those amazing YouTube videos. So, you know, I thank him too.
Aw.
Thank you, Carlos. And thank you, Nora, for being here. I'm glad that you're having fun.
And once we shut off the camera, she'll put on her commander hat and all this is over. Just kidding. I love her.
That's not true.
That's not true. I was making jokes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are having fun. And the wax, actually, you guys are going to have leftover wax, clear and black. And you're going to have a lot of leftover of gilding wax. So that tube of gilding wax will last you for months. And I hope you fall in love with it. And I hope you go around the house and you put it everywhere. You can do this with picture frames, vase, lamps, mirrors. Those are great to practice on. That will give you also so much confidence, you know. So pretty much whatever you see around the house that needs a little update, you can do that with chalk paint and gilding wax. I pretty much put it on everything. I bought a coffee table that had the metal base bottom and it was wood on top, and I just gilded the metal base on my coffee table in gold, and it looks fabulous now because everything looks better with gold, in my opinion.
Oh, she's doing the Kacha Gold Challenge now. Tell them about that.
Yes, if you guys, I will actually love you guys. If you have Instagram, since you're all using gold gilding wax from Redesign with Prima, we are doing the Kacha Gold Challenge on Instagram. And we're giving away an empire dresser that I told you, 30 hours on fixing it. We're giving it completely free, with free shipping included for United States. One of United States lucky winner is going to get that. And one lucky winner out of United States is going to get $300 in with Prima gift card. So all you have to do to enter the challenge is take a picture of your piece that you did today, or you will finish tomorrow, but that we're working on today. Take a picture, hashtag us on Instagram with the hashtag Kacha Gold Challenge, and you're entered to win an empire dresser created by me with the free shipping included. So I will really love you guys to enter, because I really appreciate you coming to the class today. And you never know, maybe you win the free dresser. That is beautiful. And you can see all the information on my Instagram, and you will see which piece I'm talking about.
I'll show them before the class is over.
It's a mess in the back.
I'll just show
That
them the
is-
dresser.
That is such an amazing challenge and prize. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Thank
and
you
the all
so much
Oh,
for sharing.
Crystal Garcia already submitted hers yesterday. A
oh,
blue buffet.
wonderful. Yes, because all you have to do to enter the challenge is use some of Redesign with Prima Gold products, which you guys are already doing it today. So why not enter the challenge?
And it does not have to be a big piece. It could be a jewelry box or a
Anything.
anything that you create with gold.
And that is from Redesign with Prima. So if you guys interested, you're more than welcome. I would love to see your pieces there.
I think everyone's ready, so you can go ahead and
Yes.
continue
Oh my
on.
goodness, perfect. I can just keep talking here like all night. So now you are going to grab your Redesign with Prima brush and Annie Sloan clear wax. You're going to grab those two and your microfiber cloth that I told you about. Very important to have it. Or a dark black t-shirt. I said that is also fine to use it. So this brush is brand new. So when we start waxing, some bristles might fall off here and there. Don't worry, that's normal because it's brand new brush. All you have to do is just pick it out and carry on. That will stop happening after 1 or 2 uses. So I just want to warn you right at the beginning. So just dip your brush directly in clear wax. And this is how much you can have on.
So not much.
Yeah,
not too much.
Yeah, just take a look. This is how much I'm getting.
Is it the brush that was
Yes.
with the kit? Yes.
Yes, this is the brush that
Yes.
came with the kit. This is going
Actually,
to be
Their brush is the pointed one, but it's the same thing. It's still from Redesign with Prima. It's just the pointed version of the wax brush.
when I ordered mine, they were out of stock with a pointed brush, so I had to go with this one. But I do have the pointed brush
Don't you like that one better for waxing?
Actually, I like this one better. That's the one that you guys have, but I use it for a black wax, so I can't use it now for clear wax. You always want to have one brush for clear wax and one brush for any other colored wax. So never mix those two. One or this one always needs to stay clean for clear wax. But this one is actually better for waxing. I like this one better.
You want to tell them kind of like the simple rules and stuff to waxing and why you're putting clear wax
Okay,
first?
yes. The simple rule, what Annie Sloan said is that every piece must be protected. If you don't protect your pieces, as you can see, you will have white things coming off when you touch your piece. The dust will get stuck on it. It will scratch easier. It's not gonna scratch right away, but it will scratch easier because there's nothing protecting that chalk paint. Rule number one when it comes to Annie Sloan is always apply clear wax. Always protect your pieces. After we're done with clear wax, we're going to put a black wax, but I'm going to tell you more about that as we go. So always, always, always put clear wax on your painted pieces first and then anything else, but always after the transfer, never before the transfer, because transfer won't stick to it.
Yeah, let me correct that. First, before any decorative waxes, you have to have a clear foundation, a clear wax foundation.
Yes, so let's wax now. So how do you wax? You just go like this very easily. Just a long strokes. And you are going over the transfer as well. And you see this is darkening your color. And also you see a little things of wax in there and you're wondering, oh my God, is this going to stay like this? It kind of looks messy. No, it won't, don't worry. I'll show you everything you need to know about this process. So just now, let's apply wax. And focus on the top. And that's the most important for now. So just keep grabbing it when you feel like you're running out of wax, and you can clearly see when you don't have enough wax anymore on your brush. Just grab some more. And this is how much I'm grabbing each time. And to clean your brushes from clear wax, when they get like dirty from too many uses, all you have to do to clean the brush is use mineral spirits. Clean your brush with mineral spirits, and that will give you a nice fresh start again. So maybe you can use it about 10-15 times for 10-15 pieces, and then you clean it with mineral spirits, and that's all you need to do.
And how do you clean it?
You just pour, how I clean it, like this. I get an old towel, throwaway towel. I put my brush here and I pour some on there, and then I rub it in the towel. So this is what you use to clean your brushes. Remember that. And now we're just going to clear this. So this is protecting your paint, but your transfer as well, because your transfer needs to be protected. Not only the paint, but transfer as well. So we're protecting this way. And that's it. I'm done with the top. So what I'm going to do now, and remember, the brush you use for wax, never use for painting. Once you use wax on a brush, that's it. That's a waxing brush forever. You can never clean that completely 100% off. So now you get your microfiber cloth or your t-shirt. It's important to be black. And you wipe it. And you wipe it. And look at this. It gives you a nice look.
Can you use the blue shop towels to wipe the wax? If they are...
No.
Because those aren't microfiber.
No. I don't suggest it. It's gonna give you a bad experience.
Yeah, you need a microfiber cloth, a cheesecloth, or a cotton t-shirt.
Not cheesecloth. It leaves white stuff.
Not
from
even?
dark pieces.
Okay.
Either black t-shirt or a microfiber cloth.
Okay.
So
And that's because it's a dark color.
yes, because it's a dark color. If you have any other color, you can use a white t-shirt or cheesecloth.
Got it.
But for dark colors, I suggest microfiber cloth or so here is area where I see I'm missing some wax because the color is just different. So all you have to do is go over it and you fix it and you wipe it again and you get rid of all this extra wax. It's very important to wipe it off because there's little pieces of wax. You don't want to leave it there like that. It will dry like that and it will look messy.
I noticed you're wiping in straight lines.
Straight lines, just straight from all the way from one way to the other. If you're working on a big dresser, you go from one side of the dresser all the way to the other side of the dresser. Very
Now-
important to do this.
Can you apply transfers on top of the wax if you realize that you want something else? Or
No.
should you make sure you're completely done?
You can't put that is a big no. Your transfer won't stick to the wax. So in case you change your mind, what you have to do, you have to grab mineral spirits that I showed you. You pour it on the towel and you clean the top off from wax. So yes.
Mineral spirits removes wax easily and immediately.
So if you have a piece that you already waxed, remove mineral spirits, either sand it or use mineral spirits to remove the wax and then apply transfer because your transfer just won't stick to the wax. That's a very important thing. It will stick to polyurethane. All right. This is looking beautiful. I don't know how do you, I want you guys to tell me how do you like the color. It's getting richer, darker, prettier, isn't it? And I want to do a little bit here since everybody is probably catching up.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just take the phone out of here.
Let's do the front drawer as well.
If I don't clean my wax brush each time, then how do I keep the brush from getting hard?
You don't have to clean it each time. It won't get hard after one use. It will start getting hard after few uses.
And
So-
then what would you suggest to clean it before you store it?
Mineral spirits.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. Just use mineral spirits and your brush will be like brand new. Okay.
This is what she meant when she said, if you want the shiny finish, you come back tomorrow and do this. Just wipe it with the,
So yes, if you guys like shinier looking furniture, all you have to do is let this dry now for 24 hours after you're done waxing. You come 24 hours later with the same towel and you buff it. You just literally go buffing around and you see that shine start coming through and your piece looks like it's polished. So if you like shiny furniture, go ahead and buff it. I love matte finish furniture, so I try to stay with this look, but why not? If, you know, we're all different. We all like different stuff. So how is everybody doing with waxing? Not their favorite part?
is it your least favorite part?
Personally, I'm still putting stuff on, transfers on because I can't decide.
Oh, you putting transfer on?
Yeah, that's just me. I take forever on everything and I couldn't decide. So you'll see it at the
That's
end.
good. That's good. You know how they say, measure twice, cut once. Like first,
Yes.
be sure where you want your transfer on. Nothing's wrong with that. Well, I will just be waxing my table and you guys can just keep on waxing if you're at the waxing part. So I'm right now like waxing the legs, the front door is done, the top is done. I'm going to the legs.
For the class, you guys can just worry about the top and the front, so we can just show you the technique, and then you can just repeat that process all over.
At home, yes, tomorrow or later.
Or tonight when we're done. So, but so the class doesn't drag on for 5 or 6 hours. We can just show you everything in the front and the top.
Yes, and yes, waxing is definitely my least favorite part of doing this job. But black waxing or dark waxing, oh yeah, that is my favorite thing to do. All right.
Paint is coming up a little, felt and looked dry. Are you talking about with the waxing? Yes, with waxing. Does that mean it wasn't dry, Kacha?
And where it came off? Is it in the middle or the corners or which area?
Top, middle, and edges.
Yeah, it was probably not dry.
Looks distressed.
Yeah, that's mean that it wasn't dry. Those areas. So you can just touch it up. No big deal. That's not big deal. Don't ever get scared. Wherever you did lift it up, you can tomorrow, whenever or later on, you can just go over that area, touch them up with a little brush and wax them over. So it's not really big of a deal. Don't, feel discouraged. It's just the drying time. And I wish, we were all in one room. Let's say we were all in one room, in one class. So we had all the same time and we all had the same environment. So we're all on the same level, because now this is really like tough. I don't know what is your environment, how dry is or how hot is. So don't be discouraged. That happened because those areas were not dry. Just touch them up with a little brush and wax them over and you will be just fine. And
it was from Jason and Nancy, and they actually says that it was the top, middles, and edges. Looks distressed. Nice technique. It sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
There is a technique called wet distressing, and that's probably what she achieved. She wasn't trying to do that, so
yes,
it can be a bit frustrating.
What happened to you? Yes, Carlos is very right. What happened to you? You just wet distress your piece. It's a special technique, also taught by Annie Sloan, that I love. That is when you let your paint dry a little bit, and then you go with the towel, with a wet towel, and you start distressing some areas. So that's what you achieved. It was not, you know, what we were trying to do today, but if you like that look and if you don't mind it, you can keep it as is, or you can just touch it up.
Yeah, she must have a much higher drying time than the rest of us.
Yes.
But this class will be up forever, I believe. You guys will have access for
Yes.
this. Oh, she's in Indianapolis. Wet and rainy. There you go.
Yes.
That is the combination for long dry times.
Yes. Those days that we have in Maine, rainy and cold days, is the hardest when we are filming on YouTube, our YouTube videos, because it takes such a long time to dry one coat, and I don't have like days to wait for the coat to dry. So like,
There has been some situations where you've let it dry overnight
yes,
because of that.
there's been situation where I had to like, I put one coat and it's drying like for hours, and like I lose a whole working day because it's so wet and cold here. So yes, you can definitely rewatch this class again. And you know, if you the next time, if you want to do this, if you want to try it again, you do it at your own speed. You know, you guys can pause it. You can do one coat today, the next coat the next day, the transfer the third day. You know, you do it as you want, as you prefer.
But she can definitely fix this one. She's just gotta touch it up
Yes.
and wait longer than the rest of
Yes,
us.
you can definitely fix it. You just have to touch it up. But it can be fixed. I'm just talking in general for everybody who
Mhm.
is watching this video, that you know, they can do this with different color maybe, or whatever. Just follow those simple steps and you will be fine. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. And you will just see the difference. It's going to become easier, and you're going to go faster, and you're gonna know why something, why is there a problem when you have a problem, because there's going to be problems. To this day, I've been doing this for 6 years, every day of my life, and I still come across some problems that I have to fix, because we all run into some problems when we work.
Michelle says her Annie Sloan gilding wax takes a long time to dry. Is that normal?
Annie Sloan gilding wax.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's, you know, that's why I love redesign Prima, a decor wax, because it dries really fast. It dries in 24 hours and you don't have to protect it. So Annie Sloan gilding wax, I suggest you put lighter coats. You'll have better time with it. If you put lighter coat, and if it's not strong enough for you, let it dry a little bit, like a day or two, and then put another coat to build up the what is that word? To build up like the pigment to look stronger. It's better to go that way than to put so much and wait it to cure forever. Where with
And then I'm sorry, finish that answer before I ask
with
you the next one.
with redesign with Prima, it dries in 24 hours.
She said yes, it was a heavy coat on a knob.
Yes. So just, you know, go with lighter coats. Lighter coats are the way to go with everything when it comes to furniture.
But you don't really have that situation with the Prima waxes.
With Prima waxes, I do have situation when I put super heavy coat. Yes, even for me, it will take like a day or two to dry. So I really try to avoid that. It's always better to go lighter.
And then we have another question that says, I lost it, but I think it was the foggy look of the wax. Does that go away?
The foggy look, so the foggy look of the wax goes away if you wipe. Did you wipe it off? If you, or you don't have enough wax, maybe you need to put more wax. If you looks like uneven,
Foggy, like whitish, like grayish, like little.
you need to wipe it off.
So you need more wiping. Maybe he used too much.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to microfiber it off.
Wipe it off. Yes. Spread it. First, try spreading it with your brush. If it's foggy, try spreading it around more, and then use a microfiber cloth.
Also remember to keep flipping your towel to places that haven't accumulated so much wax.
So how is everybody doing with wax? How far are you guys? We're gonna run out of battery.
See how much battery we have. We're good.
Okay. Okay.
How's everyone doing with the wax? Did you get the top and front?
We have a comment from Nora. She says, I'm very behind because I'm still putting on transfers and don't want to apply wax before I finish those. But I've been watching your method of applying it. Thanks, Nora.
Okay. Odie's done with the wax.
Beautiful.
So is Melanie. So is Susan.
Beautiful.
I've applied my wax too, and I am exhausted. My arm is very sore.
Oh boy.
Definitely
I told you, she's
haven't
a
built up
painting
the
robot.
muscle memory for this.
Well, that's good. That's good. Okay.
It looks like you can go on now. There's a lot of people that finished with the wax part.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So now we are going to play with wax. We need a little bit more light in here. Okay. So let's start with black wax.
Can you move this slide here to the middle?
This is really not necessary, this part. I just want to teach you. Since I'm teaching you everything, I want to teach you one extra thing. This is really, if you like your table the way it is, you can skip this part. But I want to teach you anyway for the future so you know how to do this. Now you're going to grab your chip brush and your black wax that you got. And you're going to get some black wax on your chip brush, and you're going to unload that on your lid or on your anything that you have. Usually I do it on the lid. So you want a little bit on the top. You don't want it too much. Okay. So I'm going all around. I'm aging my transfer and I'm aging my table.
Almost like dry brushing, very little
So-
wax on the brush.
I haven't used any wax again. The one that I dipped, this is all I've been using. So I'm going around and I'm really tapping. The key for this technique is not to have so much wax on your brush. Just remember that. Don't have a lot of wax on your brush. Less is more in this case, not more and more, like I said earlier. When it comes to wax, it's less is more. So I'm just going and I'm just adding some black wax on round to age it. You don't have to do this. As I said, this is totally up to you if you want that aged look, but you can do this to anything. This doesn't have to be only on a transfer. This can be on anything later on. You can do this around the corners here on the drawers. The key, remember, in dark waxing is a little bit of wax on your brush and just go over lightly. So I'm aging this transfer.
So it's not quite so dark white.
Yes, exactly. You can do, you know, some people love bright white, and that's totally fine, but I love to add a little bit of touch of, you know,
Michelle
age.
has to put her daughter to bed, but she will definitely follow the video to finish up. And thank you very much from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming, and have a good night. And your daughter, of course, go enjoy with her. And happy Mother's Day. Perfect. All right, you guys, you see? And
Thank you, Susan. Definitely post your finished piece.
if you guys think that you put too much, all you have to do is grab your microfiber cloth and you just go over. Nothing too much.
That's
So-
why it's important to put the clear wax base. So you can move it, right?
Yes, the most important thing when you're applying black wax, brown wax, any colored wax is to have clear wax under so you can move your colored wax around as you want it. So just do that and you will be fine. And now I am going to grab my hardware, and now we came to the best part, and that is decor wax. And we're using Eternal. This is my favorite color. This step is always at the end. Remember that. And always, 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 always remember this is always at the end. This doesn't need any protection. Use lighter coats and let it air cure. It gold wax is the same, just the same as clear wax that we just put. This one only has gold in it, so it doesn't need to be protected. You can, however, you can protect it if you want it with polyurethane, but that is if you use it on something else. On top of Aniston wax, you cannot put polyurethane. So I got my little hardware here, and I'm going to go over with my detail brush. And I'm just going over. This is the funniest part, the most exciting part of the every piece that I do, because this little hardware, look how it's beautiful it's now. Okay. It's always suggested to do your hardware, like if you do it at night, don't attach it until in the morning so it can dry. But I want to show you guys how this is going to look, so I'm going to attach it now. Why you should not attach it immediately? Because now if I touch it, I'm going to transfer gold on my fingers, and that is normal. That doesn't mean that wax won't stick. It's just I haven't had any chance to cure, so it has to. You have to leave it, at least I try to leave it one night before I attach it to my hardware. But for the class purposes, I just want to show you how it looks with the hardware on. And you get that nice, I didn't really, okay. So I lifted it a little bit. It's not big deal. I'm just going to touch it again. And leave this to dry. So the best way to go is, if you have hardware, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, do you typically only need one coat, or do you suggest more than one coat?
90% of the time you need one coat. Rarely that you need second coat. So one coat is good to go. And now, if you have painted the hardware over already, like I said that you can, all you have to do is just go with your brush around here and attach, apply the gold. So that's fine. You can do that immediately. You don't have to wait anything to dry. And now I'm going to add around the trim some gold. I think this brings furniture to the next level. Look at this. This is magic happens in front of my eyes. I feel like that every time I do this. And also you can do this with your finger. I do that sometimes with my finger and sometimes with a brush. It depends how I feel, but it's safe to use with your fingers. But if you care about your manicure or your nails, if you have your nails done, then you definitely should do it with the brush, with a brush.
I guess if you want a super solid coverage, you would do 2 coats.
No, but I'm doing 1 coat now.
Yeah, it is pretty solid.
It's solid. It's solid. It's just like, it's just the matter if how hard I'm going in there. But 1 coat will get you covered. And all right. And I always add more gold around any details that the tables or furniture has. So like this, I'm going to add it here.
Kacha, I have a question.
Yes.
Where you have overlapped your transfer, do you go over those flowers and leaves that you paint over it now with the gold, or do you suggest going around it? What's the best strategy?
Oh, I go over with the gold. It depends how I feel. Sometimes here, I'll show you. I can show you both ways. You can go like this. Go around, leave the leaves on there. I do it either way. So definitely however you feel, and then I will like fill this up, you know, so I can leave the flowers and leaves out. Actually, I'm going to show you. You see? And then I can go over this here. It's totally up to you. Probably it's better if you go this way.
Perfect.
But I will show you. I will cover this one so you can see it. This is how it looks covered. It's still fine.
Okay.
So this one looks more interesting if you go around the transfers. I just wanted to show you that. And then I have to do this. Well, this part, you see, that's when I get my finger involved. When I come to around these areas, that's when I get into my finger. And then this.
It's so pigmented.
Yes, with design with Prima Decor Wax is highly pigmented and it will give you an amazing coverage. And I just like this product a lot. And they have so many different shades. They have a pink one that I'm obsessed with. I have every shade of gold they have. Sometimes you need brighter gold. Sometimes you need darker gold. Sometimes you need like a little burning gold. If you know, if you know what I mean. So Eternal, I can say the one that I picked for this class, I can say that this one is pretty matching every color perfectly. So you will have it so much left over to play on your projects in the future. It doesn't have to be just on the blue. So.
Do we have any other questions regarding the wax, the redecor wax?
I have another question. And I'm wondering if anybody else. Yes, exactly what OT just asked. Can you remove
the gold wax?
Absolutely, you can remove it with mineral spirits. So having mineral spirits on your hand when you're working with waxes is so important. So all you have to do is just put some mineral spirits on the cloth and you wipe it all off. And if you have, if you accidentally, like if I'm now working, sometimes I accidentally go with
Do it.
wax, like,
Show them.
no, here, I'll show you.
Show them how
Here.
easy it is.
Look, and you're like, okay, what do I do now? So I'm going to grab my mineral spirits and I'm going to remove this. So I will show you how to remove. I'm just going to finish this here. So yes, you don't have to be afraid of this. It will happen, and it will happen quite often. Here, we're going to remove it. Just get a little bit. And you're going to, and it's gone. So, of course, that's it. It's gone. So it's easy fix. And you, if you want to remove it like all this completely, then yes, you're gonna have to put some more mineral spirits than I did. And you're gonna have to use like some very old or shop towel or some very old cloth to remove all that. But yes, it's removable. So don't ever worry and don't ever feel stuck with gold.
On the black wax, do we buff that lightly if we don't like the extra look?
Yes.
And will it cure on its own? Yes.
If you don't like black wax, all you again, here, let's do that. Get some mineral spirits. Because black wax and brown wax is very personal preference. So get some mineral spirits. And let's say this one has a lot. It's gone. Now it's not there anymore. Easy peasy.
All the waxes behave the same, so they have like similar curing times. Mineral spirits will remove them. And they are waxes, so they are all protection. So people always wonder, like, do I need to protect gilding wax? Well, no, because it's a wax, it'll protect itself once cured.
Okay. I love this color combination. I think it's such a pretty color combination. Navy with gold. You can't go wrong with that. It's so rich. Okay. And of course, I will go around and use or put gold on every, on this. So that can take some time. Probably I usually spend a lot of time on my projects when I'm doing the detail work. But one thing you need to know, it's all about the details. The more you pay attention to details, the better your piece is going to look. At the beginning, you're not really going to care about the details as much because you just want to get your piece done. But once I shifted my mind in that direction where details really matter and I started paying attention to details, my pieces started looking better and better. So it takes a lot of patience, but it's so worth it at the end. It will make a huge difference. So just have patience.
Someone asked if they can use the black wax on the hardware.
On the hardware, after you chalk painted it, yes.
So you want like a chalk paint primer?
If you chalk painted it, yes, you can. You are not really supposed to put it directly on the hardware black wax. You know,
Oh, I see.
without chalk paint.
What if you put the gilding, the redesign wax on, and then they want to put a little bit of the black wax? Can you
Yes,
do that?
absolutely. You can do that.
Okay.
Yes, you can do that. If you have gold and you want to add a little bit of black, yes, you can do that.
Do we have any other questions? We're going to be wrapping up right now. So while she's still painting there.
Yes.
And any other questions before I stop the recording? Okay, I think we're good. So we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead. Do you have any last minute advice for anybody who's watching this?
Just go and have fun. Just have fun. Don't overthink it. That's my biggest advice. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Have fun. And remember, if you do this and you absolutely don't like it, you just go over and paint over all again. Because remember, you can paint over Anislon. You can paint with Anislon over wax. Just know that. So that's how easy is this fix. Let it cure. You don't like it, let it cure. You can put completely different color on it. So just don't overthink it and have fun. This is supposed to be fun and enjoyable.
Perfect. Okay, well, we want to say thank you so much to Kacha. We're going to stay on and everybody can show off your piece if you like, but I'm going to end the recording. And
Yes.
Thank you so much to you and Carlos for such an amazing class. Thank you from all of us at Gather by Charity Wings and Prima, and Annie Sloan, thank you so much for your amazing donation. And all.
Yes. They're great.
Okay, we're gonna. Thank you.